What's up, Internet?
Hello.
Oh,
Welcome to the Flimcast.
Damn it. No, don't.
All right. About chat.
Hey, look.
Await a tweet.
Yeah.
BMFcast is live.
Tweet.
There is a tweet.
Like.
Live.
Oh, shit. Look at that tweet.
Yeah,
Retweet.
look at it.
Like, subscribe. Ring
it.
that bell.
Someone
Bell
wanna
rung.
Put it in the Discord.
Yeah, I'll drop it in there.
Yeah, drop it in there. Drop it in there. Hey, Nate. Good day, Nate.
Good night.
It's Nate. Nate's in the chat.
Hello, Nathaniel.
Hi. I'm making a special guest appearance on the show.
Hi, Bob.
Oh, man.
Hey, BJ. Oh, it's you.
I got to add some of these movies to our list. I'm behind since I've been out of commission.
What? Oh, you mean our letterbox list?
Yeah, like
Oh.
Steel Arena,
Oh, yeah, Steel Arena.
Operation Yugo Drop. It's been a long time since I've been here. Holy shit. So this is 494?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. You were last year for 489.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's been that long?
Uh-huh.
For Red Brown and Robo War?
Robo War was the previous Mackie appearance.
Man.
Yeah.
I just took some time off, I
Yeah,
guess.
well, you know.
Hey, somebody cloned our list. Who cloned this list?
Yeah, who?
Andrew Jarrett
You son of a bitch.
Give us our list back.
from Sydney, Australia. Why are you cloning our list, Andrew?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Andrew. Andy. Why'd you clone our list, Andy? Speak to me, Andrew.
Is it because of
Come
that
on, Andy. Why'd you clone our list?
accent?
Damn it, Andy.
Why'd you do it, Andy?
I mean, Andy, why? Oh, wait, that's the wrong Andy. Andy.
Just going to Mayberry.
It's a B Movie Podcast.
Uh-huh, yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, what? All right.
Uh-huh.
I'm just here naming podcasts. If you're going to clone anything, do that. Yeah, B Movie Podcast.
Now, if we could just get a bunch of old biddies in here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
why we need the second
I
studio.
don't know about biddies, but, like, at least, 50 plus.
The fuck are you
I'm
talking
50.
about?
Old fiddies.
We're watching some bad movies.
The fuck are you talking about?
What?
Old biddies watching bad movies.
Biddies.
Is that the right riot? No, that is not the right riot.
Nope, it's the wrong riot.
Use the right riot.
Yeah, the right riot.
Right riot.
Right riot.
Right riot.
I must edit our list to get the right riot.
Right riot.
Right riot.
Right riot.
The correct riot has Sugar Ray Leonard in it.
I know.
Right.
Bill's here.
Oh, there it is. From 1996. Joseph Mehri.
Yeah, that's it.
And Birdie's here. Hi, Birdie.
Hey, what up, peoples?
So many people are here.
I know, and it's Monday and everything. It's crazy.
So crazy.
It's crazy.
Wacky holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's ringing that bell.
Oh, hell yeah.
So in 2020, what year do Christmas and New Year's fall on?
Saturdays.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, thanks, leap year. Right.
Wait, not
Yeah. Christmas Eve and New Year's are on Fridays.
Fridays. You said Saturday.
yeah,
That's
it's-
Christmas
it's-
Day and New Year's Day.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. You're right. Yeah.
It's going to be lit.
AF, everyone.
Yeah. Also, we get 2 more floating holidays for some reason at work now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we get the Friday before Christmas and New Year's Eve off.
That's cool.
Well, yeah, because they can't actually give you those days. I'll be off for those days, too.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Hey, bonus holidays. Like, that's the only thing that's super good about my job is that I get a bazillion vacation days every year. Now, I don't get paid enough to do anything with those vacation days anymore, but
Oh, no. They're on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
wait, they're on Friday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, so you have to work with that Thursday. Then you're off Friday.
Yeah, I'll take the if I'm still working there.
Well,
by this time
considering
next
what's
year.
going to happen a month before, who the
Yeah.
fuck knows where we will be by Christmas 2020.
Where?
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. You just said people. Nobody knows. I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll find out.
Stay tuned.
Right.
Well, we were going to all move to England, but that got-
Nope.
Nope.
we can kind of move to Canada, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be citizens for a while. Canadian citizenship is tough. Apparently.
It's all right. Just don't have to lock our door or anything.
Germany was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Saw Tommy Hoban when I was there.
I saw
Remember
that.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah. We
I was
hung
like,
out with
holy
him for a
shit.
day. It
That's-
was really cool.
that's really awesome.
Yeah. He said he could try for dual citizenship, but apparently it's like you have to have like a really good story circumstance. Basically, you have to be able to like really sell it to the government, or they're just like they'll let you sit in limbo forever.
Can't you just
Not
point
just
to
like-
America and go?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think the thing is there's too many people doing that already.
Oh, okay. I guess you could probably have to one up
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was really cool. We bought beers and just walked around the streets drinking.
That's pretty good.
Cool.
Yep. Because he's like, that's what you do here. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I could definitely. And there were a lot of Germany was cheaper than I was expecting,
Really?
as far as like expenses for meals and all that sort of thing.
Did you have any spätzle while you were there?
Yeah,
Good.
I had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, spätzle is good.
Yeah.
Every time anybody's like doing anything remotely German since our trip to that place in Atlanta, I'm like, ooh, did you have spätzle? Tell me about your spätzle.
Tell me
about your
speech.
Tell me about your spätzle, child.
Why are you accosting children?
Yeah.
Because they have the speech.
Everyone is a child because I'm,
Oh,
I'm
I
a
understand.
On-
wizened old man.
Oh.
See,
On
Right. Oh, that was a
Thanksgiving
man.
itself, we ate at an Austrian restaurant.
yeah,
I didn't realize that was a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
suspicious.
man.
Yeah. I was suspiciously like an old witch.
what did you have at the
Not a witch, I'm your
Austrian
wife.
restaurant?
It was like a shepherd's pie type thing. I don't remember the exact name of it. It was really good though.
Nice.
Yeah. Along with a beer.
Of course.
Beer.
What was your favorite beer that you had over there?
I couldn't even tell you anymore, honestly.
Did you have a lot of them?
Yeah, I just
Good.
tried a different one wherever we went.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
I tried to drink as many Weiss beers as I could.
Nice.
I like beer.
They
Did
were
you
all
have
good.
any Crystal Weiss?
No.
No. Crystal Weiss are apparently pretty good.
Crystal Light? What?
No.
Oh.
So,
Just anytime anybody says a foreign word, just pretend they didn't say anything, Chuck.
I don't know how this started.
It started with I said Yves Saint Laurent, and you went, "Oh, what?"
That's not true.
Yeah, it is very true.
It's-
I have witnesses.
it's true, Chuck.
I refuse to testify on the grounds of the Fifth Amendment. 'Cause I say dumb shit all the time, so I'm not gonna like throw Chuck under the bus.
You can throw Chuck under the bus.
Under
No, we're weekend buds now. Weekend podcast warriors.
Yeah.
We hang
Yeah,
out.
how's that going to change when
He has to
You're
drive for
stupid.
an extra 5 minutes. I'm not moving to the other fucking side of the town.
Yeah,
it's
no.
like it's like 5-10
Yeah,
minutes from here.
according to Google Maps, it's going to shave 2 minutes off my return trip home.
That's pretty good.
Well, it's right by both major interstates. Like,
Yeah.
you can get
And
to
there's-
95 or 295.
No
very
traffic at
easily.
11:30 at night. None.
So yeah, you get on 295.
I'll
just
hop on
right over
295
there
and I'll
over
be
the current,
home.
and boom,
Yep.
zing.
Yeah. Sing. Kapow.
Yeah. Should we do a podcast?
I'm going to do podcast.
Chuck votes podcast.
I vote podcast.
You know what?
Yeah.
You need a swing vote.
Let's do a podcast.
All right.
I'm here.
Sorry,
Might as
sorry,
well.
BJ,
My
you've been
vote doesn't count
outvoted
as
by
much
your-
since I'm not a regular member of the show anymore. But
You get half
You
a
know.
vote.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 494.
God damn.
Another palindrome.
Look at us.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
We're all here.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yay!
Well, regardless whether we're at full strength or not, what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie.
Yeah.
Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Good bad movies. Enjoyable bad movies. They get 1-5 jocks and robot jocks. That's a rating system. I usually say something about rating there. But
Right.
Yeah. But you know what? There's also bad movies. This is stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags and giant bags of trash.
No.
Garbage.
Yes. Garbage day.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's we're quickly approaching the new year, the new decade, perhaps.
Quickly.
Depending who you ask, and we decided to do
Reasonable people know it is a new decade in a few days.
No reason is that it. All right,
It could be a new decade every day,
It's
according
fine.
to these rules that society doesn't follow anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It's chaos. You know
It is.
this.
It is.
It's anarchy out there.
I thought we were getting more of a New Year's movie, but this is just set in around Christmas time.
I don't know. They seem to waste like 7 straight days on Christmas or on Christmas Eve
Sure.
in this movie. So it's a
Yeah.
New Year's movie.
Fine, we'll go with it.
Okay.
But we watched 1998's The Minion. The Minion.
Banana.
The Minion.
Right. You love them. Those meme monsters.
No.
Uh-huh.
This has got monsters in it, but
Yeah.
they're not of the meme variety.
Oh. Whoa.
They're of the mean variety.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays, we wear yellow.
My God.
Yep.
Fucking minions.
Uh-huh. But yeah, this is a Dolph Lundgren movie
Oh,
called
right,
The Minion
yeah.
Oh,
from
hey.
1998.
Yes.
We
that is
like
correct.
Dolph Lundgren.
I've heard of him.
He's in some movies we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does anybody know which ones?
I am about to tell you
Okay.
if you'd like to know.
I'm
We would.
out of practice.
All I have to do is find it in our thing because our Discord got full of other shit debating whether this is the end of the decade or not.
You did that.
I know. I was just continuing the conversation. I was just, clicking the button and join the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, where is it, Chuck? God damn it!
It's today.
I know. I'm looking.
Control F.
Yeah.
Minion.
Control. Fuck that. There we go. Okay.
All right.
The only person any note whatsoever in this movie is Dolph,
Okay.
who has been in Red Scorpion, The Punisher, I Come in Peace, Showdown in Little Tokyo, Johnny Mnemonic, Command Performance, In the Name of the King, The Package, Don't Kill It, Altitude, Forgot 10, Dead Trigger, and in Extra Blackwater.
Oh.
Prolific BMFcast alum.
We watch us some Dolph.
We sure do.
On the BMFcast
That's how
Mount Rushmore.
We're celebrating
Dolph.
New Year's by the Dolph balls dropping.
Yes.
Right.
That's what it is, yeah.
The Dolph balls have dropped.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Hey, you guys remember Don't Kill It?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a good Dolph
That
movie.
we enjoyed that.
Yeah. That's a better version of this movie.
It's a
In a
better
certain
version of
sense.
most movies, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, like, when this started, I was like, oh, this is the low-budget version of End of Days, but that didn't come out for a year.
I
Another
know.
year later.
End of Days ripped this off.
Yeah. I mean, it was just... Do you
I mean,
make me
it
the
could
plot
have-
summary? Because you usually make me read these plot
Yeah,
summaries.
read a plot summary.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do it.
See, if you hadn't,
I know, I could have gotten away
Yeah,
with it.
gotten away
would
with
I would have been like...
You meddling
yeah,
kids.
it was my own fault. Hubris. It was
Yeah.
hoisted by my own petard. Anyway, a subway construction crew unearths an 800-year-old Celtic skeleton and a mysterious key. News of the discovery reaches a Middle East monastery where the warrior monks known as the Knights Templar, an ancient sect entrusted with protecting holy relics, choose their best pupil, Lucas, to face the diabolical threat.
That's an accurate plot
Yeah, for once.
description for part of the movie. Combinations of words that make my brain give me the happy chemical. Celtic skeleton. I don't know why. Just like Celtic skeleton pops into my head immediately. Or
Skeleton.
skeleton. Yeah.
It'd be
Celticton.
skeleton.
Oh, the skeleton.
And it's also a skeleton key. So
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is End of Days, but a year before End of Days.
okay, let's rate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's your general, like, hey, the millennium's coming up, and hey...
Oh
isn't
no,
it-
the millennials are
Yeah.
coming.
The millennials are coming up, and we're all fucked. But, the millennium's coming up, and hey, it's a perfect time to, like, bring back the Antichrist. You know,
Yeah,
it's, I guess
agree.
that, like every 1,000-year cycle of like, hey,
well,
it's a good
people
time.
just stopped believing around the end of the millennium, is what we're told.
Oh.
During one of this movie's long ass monologues of bullshit,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
just stopped believing.
Yeah, they stopped listening to Journey.
Yep.
Yeah. It's that Y2K thing. Their computers were going to crash. They're like, there is no God.
Yep.
And that's that.
Obviously.
Yep.
But then God was like, "Your computers are fixed,"
Nothing happened.
and here we are.
God, a.k.a. a bunch of engineers working overtime.
Right.
I patched your BIOS and let it be mighty. Yeah. But yes, I mean, it's just like I said in the plot summary. The beginning of this movie is subway workers doing, as we said, the afternoon workshop version of a New York accent of like, hey, there's some water here. And, oh, we fell through the floor. And what is this? And I do love that, like, they're looking around like, oh, one guy's like got the dollar signs in his eye. Like, oh,
yeah.
we're going to be rich. Like, we don't have to report this. Come on. It'll just be between us. We'll sell this stuff. And Christmas bonus. And the other guys, and then like one guy's
The
like,
funny thing is this
pretty
mockery of an accent is
Better than
it's-
theirs.
it's pretty close.
It's better than theirs and accurate at the same time. It's,
I like that. Like one guy is got the flashlight and is going around the room, and they're just seeing random relics on, and then they come across like a Spirit of Halloween skeleton sitting in the corner, and they literally are like, ghost, we
Yeah.
gotta get out of here. I mean,
Fucking
they
Abbott
basically
Costello
they
showing
basically
up.
might as well. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, gotta get out of here, tripping all over each other. But they call the archaeologist. The archaeologist is like, this doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, the news reporter's already outside, like, doing the typical news thing of like, well, we don't have any confirmed reports, but I'm just going to speculate on some hearsay that I heard.
it's the funny thing she does is she's like, we talked to one of the two MTA workers, and it's still rumored, but there could be a skeleton or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something about, I don't know, Red Cross,
Yeah.
maybe? I don't know. And
Wearing a
a
shirt.
sword? It just
Yeah.
doesn't make any
And a
sense.
shirt and a sword and a...
But, this could mean that somebody got to America before Columbus, huh?
Yeah,
We
everything-
still all believe that in 1998, right? No,
Yeah.
no, no? Okay.
I mean, that they were still teaching it in 1998 for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some skeletons, and they're not scary.
Yeah,
But
and they call in the archaeology person
Karen,
who
Man, let's talk about Karen for a sec.
maybe sort of works for the MTA also, like somehow
She's the MTA's on-call archaeologist, has an official vehicle, and probably a title and a salary greater than mine.
yes,
But
yes, one of the two line workers or whatever the hell you want to call him. He's just a schlubby guy. Is like, oh yeah, we should call Karen. I like her.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so
Ah.
Karen comes in and he's immediately like, hey Karen.
Yeah.
But yes.
He's actually like he's kind of fawning a little bit, but when he finally makes his move because he has disclosed to the other guy, guy, he's like, actually, I kind of like Karen. She's kind of cute, But when he does make his move, he's not the bumbling idiot that I expected him to be.
No,
He's
and
like,
actually, he's kind of progressive
like,
too. Like,
yeah.
hey, I hope I'm not stepping out of line here, but
Do you want to
go
to the Christmas party with me? Maybe a little bit.
I know yesterday was Christmas Eve, but today is Christmas Eve. So do you want to go to the Christmas party with me?
yeah,
She's like, no, you're fine.
I was gonna
totally
say,
cool. I can't.
For a 1998 movie, they're both they're reacting better than people should.
Well, and it's French,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so it's really surprising.
Yeah, I just mean he's like, I know we
Yeah.
work together by stepping in a line, but we want to go to the ball together and maybe have a drink or two.
Some
And
presents, huh?
She's like,
Oh.
not out of line. Also, can't. My presents are right here. Like I'm going to be busy.
Yeah.
But yes, thanks to the speculative news reporter, somehow they're watching the New York local speculative reporter channel in Jerusalem,
Right.
And
Like you do. I
The
mean-
Knights Templar guy is basically like, get Lucas on a plane now.
His television only gets one channel, and it comes from New York.
Yep.
I'm out.
Yep.
Thank you. Good night. See ya.
Yeah. But so the Knights Templar have sent a guy, and so far we've still not seen Dolph. Like, this was just like, go get Lucas and forget about that.
Right. Yep.
Because some time passes, she's still down in the hole, digging, poking around at the skeletons and trying to translate stuff. And what's his nuts? Jimmy comes back. Oh no, sorry. First.
Oh, I'm Jimmy. What's his nuts
his
over
nuts,
here?
Jimmy?
Sorry. First, the Minion comes in and tries to murder her.
Yeah, the minion murders the smiley security guard,
Mm-hmm.
and then comes in and tries to murder her. We can't see him, although it feels like the camera is showing him too much.
Yeah,
because he's growling like a monster, and then it's just a dude.
This is also the start of them doing too much in the archaeology site hole, where it's like, maybe you want to take that to a clean room somewhere if this is as old as you think it is, because she digs out this Celtic talisman thing around the skeleton's neck, and it's like, that looks Celtic, and why is this here and this old? And then it's like, the back looks removable, and starts cutting it out with an X-Acto knife and finds a gold key.
Yep.
Just about the time she's like, gold key, what's this? And that's when the guy's like, rah!
Minion.
Yeah.
I don't know why she has to do all of her, like, I'm going to take apart a bunch of shit work in...
That stuff should
like,
be in a bag.
in the cave. Yeah.
And then taken apart in one of those things you put your hands in. And
Right. Like 35 people with
yeah.
little strings and
Right.
tape measures and tiny brushes would have hustled all that stuff out to the Metropolitan Museum of
Yeah,
Bones.
never mind the fact that like there's a water main that's dripping down on all this shit like right above, like doing God knows what more damage to this now on Earth.
Yeah,
thing.
just exposing it to the oxygen is probably deteriorating all this stuff. So
yeah, the fact that like they poke around at the skeleton as much as they do, and the head doesn't immediately fall off.
yeah, it just doesn't turn to dust.
At one point, AO guy, number one, just jostles the skeleton, and it kind of bobbles back and forth.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, hey, is this old?
it's about
By the
to
way,
start
I
playing
respect
the-
you. Would you like to go to this dance? It's like, fucking respect that skeleton, sir.
I only got one bone I care about tonight. I mean,
Hashtag respect
with
that
respect.
skeleton.
But yeah, anyway, so she tries to get murdered, and then that's when Dolph.
she
Dolph just-
tries to
Well,
get
she,
murdered.
I mean, she's about to get murdered by the minion guy.
Come on, minion.
Yeah, she was like,
I'm right
grumpy.
here.
I'm the fucking archaeology person for the MTA. Like, give me the fucking do it, minion. But yeah,
She's also wearing like a red mylar jacket.
Oh, it's one of those
Brightest fucking thing.
awful, like red with black streaks, pleather '90s ass jacket.
Yeah.
yes.
Did she come from another Christmas party?
No.
Who knows?
She didn't believe in Christmas. She said that.
Yeah.
Maybe did she come from a Hanukkah party
Nope.
or
You would wear
I don't
blue.
know. Maybe she would wear red because she wants to stand out. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's one of those awful '90s PVC.
Yeah, it's a
jackets.
terrible jacket.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a bad jacket.
I mean, it's kind of
Take
cool,
that
but
fucking
it's
jacket off, Karen.
Yeah.
But yes, Minion tries to murder her. She does
Yeah.
not wish to be murdered, but
No.
that's when Dolph just shows up and
Well, Dolph
begins
has
fighting it.
previously arrived, but via cab.
Right.
Because the cab driver is like, hey, it's New York, and you're here. And
Yeah, friendly. You want to
Huh?
talk? And he just, doesn't say anything.
No, he just starts strapping on this spiked glove, and you're like, is he going to kill the cab driver? Like, because the cab driver won't shut up.
Speaking of which, if you want to see the best incarnation of the spiked glove,
Yeah.
check out Dolph Lundgren's Wikipedia page. Scroll for a bit and look for a picture of a mural that's in Syria.
Yeah.
Which is Dolph Lundgren, but this version of him specifically, he's wearing the spiky glove, and it's just in Damascus
Weirdest
somewhere.
thing.
Yeah,
Because this movie was not filmed there.
it's just kind of great.
Yeah.
that they were like, this is my Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
This is my inspiration.
This is my Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, anyway, he shows up and punches the minion.
banana.
And then
Yeah.
and then just yells at Karen, don't look in his eyes.
Yeah, and then eventually has to like do an extra like spike to the back of the head.
Yeah.
and then it's like down. So he runs off, and she gives chase because he just basically yoinks the key and is like, I'm out of here. And she's like, hey, wait, things talk. And
That's
it-
my key. I deserve things. I'm smart.
yeah,
Give me
and-
the thing.
And for about the next 10 minutes, it will do the 90s movie thing of just say some fucking words so that this person doesn't have to go like, but what about and thing and why? Yeah, because that's all she does for like the next 10 minutes is she's just like, don't look in his eyes. Yeah. So they've left the dead body. Well, there's two dead bodies. There's Chet, the security guard, and then this dead guy down here.
Right.
And then so like I said, respectful Ricky or whatever comes back.
he comes back from the holiday party,
Yeah.
drunk off his ass, and can't even get out the door
well,
of his car
that
without
and dressed like he just came from the Roxbury.
Yes.
Because
leather
like
pants,
yeah, leather pants, like a metal like
shiny
shiny
shirt.
shirt,
Like a-
and
yeah. Glittery mesh
Yeah.
shirt.
He's got a gift and a bottle of champagne, and he's like, I'm going down in that
He
hole.
leaves the champagne in the car, but
Yeah.
he's got a wrapped gift now, and
Yeah.
he's. My favorite part of this is when he goes to get out of the car, he just conks his head on
Yeah.
the doorway of the car and falls back in and just climbs down and doesn't realize there's a dead guy at first. He's just like, hey, buddy, hey.
okay?
And eventually pokes him enough that the thing wakes back up, looks in his eyes, and now
Minions him.
And he gets
Yeah.
minioned.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So by the way, like just because this movie's about to tell you, this thing's basically. It's not the Antichrist. It's like the Antichrist's minion. Yeah.
Yeah.
They like they basically
It's
commonly
the Antichrist hype man.
yeah
If
basically
the Antichrist is Gru, this is his minion.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, now it makes sense.
All
Thanks
right.
for
Yeah.
putting that in a culturally relevant context
Yes.
for me.
Good for kids.
And then
So culturally relevant. My
and
God.
Jesus is whoever the good guy is in that movie.
Grew by the end of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Grew
Yes.
also.
Yeah, also
Yes,
grew.
also grew.
Yeah.
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 But then
Yeah.
the second one, he's not
Yeah,
nice.
it's the Father, the Gru, and the Holy Gru. I believe is how the Trinity works. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
checks out.
But yeah, so like polite Ricky's now the minion, and just like I think he very quickly like transfers his essence to somebody else. Fuck.
No, he's
Oh, that's
polite
right.
Ricky, and he
Yeah.
does like he's the bad guy because he gets the little neck crack thing going each time.
Yep.
But he hops in the car to chase them down because she's still chasing down Dolph, and he refuses to tell her anything.
Right, and they're doing very conspicuous duck behind the buildings as cop cars because cop cars have shown up because there's murders that have happened at this point.
Yes.
Actually, no, the
Yeah,
cop cars
they're
don't.
not
cop
hiding
cars
from the
haven't
cops.
shown
Oh,
up
yet.
yeah, the cop cars don't show up until
They're
they go to
about
the
to
parking
have to
garage.
hide
Yeah.
from the cops because they get to a parking garage. And he's like, "I need a car." She's like, "Well, I had a car back there, and we could have taken that car if you wanted that car." And he's
If you
like,
just talk to me.
"Yeah."
Yeah. She's
But-
also like, "Aren't you a priest? You're going to steal a car? You wouldn't download a car."
Yes.
Priest.
But yeah, they go into the parking garage, and immediately,
Yes.
polite Ricky is chasing them in a vehicle.
He just drives in.
Yeah, he just kind of drives into the guard shack.
Yeah.
where the
He lightly taps the guard shack.
Oh,
it's
he
not
lightly
a-
taps the shit
it's
out of
not
that
a
guard
good
shack.
stunt.
It's a bad stuff.
But then he reverses, and somehow when they start to lower the gate or whatever, he hits it, and this shoots him out the windshield,
yes.
despite
Going backwards.
going backward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does make sense.
Physics
Anyway.
be damned.
Ding! Cinema sin. But yeah, and so
Cinema Sin. He was misquoting the 7 deadly sins.
yes. But yeah, Dolph eventually just grabs that guy and fucking spikes him in the back of the head. And she's like, "That was polite Ricky.
Yeah.
He was my friend."
Dante. His name was Dante.
Well.
I only know,
Oh.
I only took note because of all the dumb religious names they had in this.
It's required for these types of
Right, yeah.
movies.
But yeah, she freaks out for half a second.
But she grabs the key and runs.
because Dante wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Right.
And,
It's true. He wasn't. He was off.
But she grabs the key, runs upstairs, and Dolph gives chase.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the cops show up.
Yeah. Cop lady is there, gun drawn,
Oh yeah.
on the parking lot attendant. Just like,
Talk- yeah.
sir, speak English. This is America. Do I
Yeah.
have to call INS?
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
she-
chill out there, lady.
She
Yeah.
definitely has a Blue Lives sticker on her home vehicle.
Yeah, Kellyanne Copway shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, but she, besides just menacing the poor parking lot attendant, she gets minioned.
Yeah.
Like nearly immediately because she
She
goes to
actually
check
has
on
an
the.
effects shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only time we actually see the transfer of minion to minion.
It's the only time they could afford the transfer. The
Yeah.
times are hard in France in 1998
Yep.
or whatever.
But yeah, he grabs her eyes, puts thumbs on her eyes, and it's glowing both sides. And the attendant is seeing all this happening, going, "Oh,
Oh, Dios mío.
Diablo!"
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
from that point,
He also speaks Aztec for some reason.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but
Not a common language.
they explain it later that he's saying things that only the Aztecs would know.
okay, yeah. But Dolph catches up with Karen, and she's just holding the key out the window. She's like, "If you ever want to see this key again, you're going to tell me what's going on."
Yep.
And Dolph doesn't just go, "Well, I could just go downstairs and pick it up."
They're only
We're
on
only
like the
2
second
stories
floor.
Yeah.
It's not like the key is going to shatter when it hits the ground, no matter how high she drops it from.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he basically explains that, I'm a Knights Templar. This key
I'm a
keeps
Knights Templar, is
basically
what I-
the Antichrist locked up, so we can't have it go back to the door where the Antichrist is.
yeah,
and this guy wants it.
Yep.
And she's like, the fuck? You sure about that? And he's like, yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. But this is when they get interrupted by the cop who starts doing like...
She gives a monologue of,
Man,
I'm the Minion, and I fucking hate you.
I mean,
and-
this is not a good movie at all, but I appreciate the direction of everyone who is possessed by the Minion.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, you need to go for it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you're doing, you need to amp it up.
Yeah. Just
And
be
so-
crazy and
yeah.
go.
It's real weird that like this is the first person they let the demon thing or whatever inhabit and then give a monologue because I mean this lady's a bad actress.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
like real bad.
And the speech goes on forever, and I admit I got about 4 seconds into it and was just like,
Well, it's
Nope.
all right.
Turn
So
it out.
the other thing about so we have the Kino Lorber Blu-ray. You would think they did as best they could with this movie, right?
Yeah.
But like, so this entire monologue is being delivered in your '90s like strobing fluorescent light
Oh my God.
area. So it's just you're getting strobe effects on her face as she's just monologuing this, and then all of the points where you think dialogue is the most important are the times they aren't going to bother to get a mic anywhere closer to them because like.
That's the way a lot of the movie is.
Yep.
in
Yeah.
general.
Well,
It's
she's.
just,
I mean, like every time it's like, oh, might be important. It's like, yeah, put the mic in the other room. It's fine. Because she's just monologuing. It's like you're.
well, the mic
really,
was in the elevator that was slowly coming up.
You're,
so.
you're struggling to hear her. There's strobing lights happening, and it's like, and she's just very badly acting.
Yep. But the elevator arrives, and I don't remember what happens. Oh, just Dolph just goes, yeah, and punches her out of a window.
Yeah, like a
oh,
one fell swoop.
He gloves up
yeah,
while
he
she's
gloves up
monologuing.
and comes up behind her on the elevator, or maybe not, or just comes up behind her after the elevator distracts her, and then just fucking donkey punch right in the back of the head
Yep.
out the window.
Out the window.
But he loses his glove in the
Glove
process.
goes too, yeah, and he
How
never
did
gets it back.
It has a bunch of fucking straps on it, and whatever.
He's bad at gloving.
Yeah,
he
but
got degloved.
Yeah.
in the eyes of society, he is now a cop killer.
Yep.
I mean,
Which is basically what Karen says. It's like, you killed a cop. We have to
Yeah,
go.
he's basically like, I need to get to an airport.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, bad
Yeah.
place to go.
She's semi on board with this now because of how the cop was acting and what the cop was saying,
Yeah.
but she's still kind of. She's not wholly on board. All of a sudden, it's just like a switch flips where it's like, oh, okay, I'm with this now.
Well, she still questions it. Like, a minute later, she's like, wait, hold on. I don't believe all this demon jumping stuff. And it's like, bitch, you have seen all these murders have happened.
Yeah, it's a very strange like moment of like where she's skeptical until she's not, but then
Right.
basically like I said they were doing some very conspicuous hiding from the cops, which is basically wait for cop car to come and then just like literally like
Just push themselves slightly against a wall.
well like they actually do like the arms out against the wall like you can't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haha, I'm a robber with a mask. I'm the Hamburglar.
Yeah. But
There's
yeah.
also one point where they just jump onto a pile of trash and the cop car just goes, woo, right by them. Like, I don't know where they went. They clearly didn't jump down that alley.
But they basically go back and get her truck, to which like there's three cops there like
Yeah,
hey, who
after
are
15
you?
fucking minutes of monologuing to
Right.
each other about.
Yeah.
I completely 100% tuned that entire segment out.
Yeah,
It's just
that
Dolph
might have been when I
reiterating what-
reached for my phone.
Yeah, Dolph was just. There are so many instances of this movie of people reiterating things we already know for characters who don't know it.
Yeah. By the way, it turns out Karen is Native American.
Yeah, sure.
They just decide that somewhere along the way because she basically what finally gets her is she's like, that reminds me of the Wendigo myth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a spirit that can inhabit anything and it can jump from body to body. And she's like, oh, okay, since I understand that, I will
Yeah.
buy your thing.
And
then
Dolph
run
is
for it.
just like, call it whatever you
Yeah.
want.
They go get her truck.
That's a good doll.
And then like three cops are like getting, just someone brought coffee, so like they're like, oh hey,
Oh,
And
fuck yeah,
they,
coffee.
They can't draw their guns because they're like coffee.
They're like,
it's-
"Blah, blah, blah, blah."
coffee gets everywhere.
Just juggling coffee.
Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the new cop coffee mate.
You ever tried to pull your gun while you're holding a cup of coffee? It's
not
impossible. And it is
Yeah.
because they can't do it.
But yes, they get away. Now, like detective guy has showed up back at like the hole, like the archaeology site, and like
Oh,
Back
yeah.
at the hole.
yeah,
at the hole.
so, like,
Wow. We spent so much time with this guy.
Yeah.
The bone hole.
yeah. Well, so like that, like so now this is like our cop guy that we're gonna follow around and do his cop things, and he immediately
God,
like,
I hate this guy.
it's not the
This
first
guy, all right. This guy's performance is like if you had a cop in a Geico commercial, and they were like, "Be a cop."
Yeah.
This is this guy this entire movie.
But also, he had gone to the dentist and had like, a couple shots of Novocaine because he has something going on with his jaw and speech, and it just boggles the mind why.
It's because most of them are trying
It's
to
because
sound New
he's
York.
French Canadian
Yeah.
trying to speak
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Hon, hon, hon.
He is also like doing the textbook like I'm a New York cop and city just keeps getting crazier.
Yeah.
Just when I think that no more loonies could come out and this city.
Right, you are, Chief.
But eventually he calls in a university professor of archaeology.
Yep.
And he doesn't show up for the first scene. It's just like they're in the hole. They're like digging at the bones. They're like, we found this glove thing, and he's like, see these spikes?
Yeah.
They match the wounds on the back of the head. Now, so Dolph and Karen are off like driving or just trying to get away from all this.
Driving.
Yeah. So like
She's
they're
driving to meet her family.
eventually they're just driving. They don't really have a destination at first, but she comes up with this plan. It's like, hey, since you've taken the key and you will not give it back that I was going to bake my entire archaeology career on, how about this? If I can come up with a way, because they've gone back and forth about explaining that like the host is dead, that they're just taking over the body, yada yada yada, and
Can't kill the minion.
can't kill you can't even really kill the minion, can't even kill the body. It's just gonna like go to sleep for a little bit until it gains enough power and then takes over somebody else.
Right.
So she's like, well, what if we take it to a place that no human body can survive? Hide the key forever. Ta-da! Problem solved. And he's like, I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, because she's like, why don't you just destroy the key? It's like, well, you can't destroy the key. Like, this is just the dumbest religious bullshit.
The key was made by the Lord.
Yeah,
powers. And
we lock the devil
magic.
behind a door, but can't. Got to hide the key, and now the minions killing everybody to get the key. And
Isn't We Lock the Devil Behind a Door like a Led Zeppelin song?
probably or their third album, maybe I don't know. But yeah, so he's just like can't destroy it, and she's like, well, let's put it somewhere where the minion, no human can ever get to it. And they explain the whole thing about the minion, how the minion takes over the lizard brain portion of your brain, and that's all it is. Everything else is dead. And then like they bring in this extra archaeologist guy who is just the science of everything he has knowledge of, because he floats the idea after fucking 20 minutes of bullshit explaining everything we
I was about
already
to say,
know.
When he shows up now for a certain segment of the population that might know who this is, he is basically low rent Mark Shepard. If you know who he
Yes.
is, who's like in every sci-fi thing ever.
Yeah.
But like, so he shows up immediately and is like kind of doing that thing.
Yeah.
Now, as I was saying, he is about to become Professor Exposition for about 10 straight minutes. But they're in the fucking hole.
Yep.
And the mic is nowhere near him.
No.
And it's like,
Nope.
you can barely hear everything he's saying. He is just going on and on and on about everything that we already knew, basically. That
Yes.
like, Knights Templar in the 6th century, and
Yeah,
why
he's
were
just
they in America?
speculating about the things that Dolph has already
yeah.
established.
Why were they in America? That changes who discovered America. And,
Yeah, so weird. And the
Hey,
cop's just
Chief,
like-
I found this broken thing. He's like, that's Celtic, and look, there's something been removed. Can it be? This is Knights Templar. Blah 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 blah.
We know.
Yeah, yeah.
Get on with it.
Again, all things that like, why is this happening in the hole? Like
Yeah.
sort of like conversations. But
Yeah, just get out of the
Yeah.
fucking hole.
Also, they bring in some. I believe they've now brought in crime or like autopsy photos from one of the victims, and they immediately go into like,
It's from the cop that flew out the window.
Right.
They're like, oh, their brain's all smooth
Yeah.
except for this one weird
yeah, it's
thing.
like it's like he's like literally was born yesterday, except for this part here, which we call the lizard brain, and it's like controls aggression, and why is that active? And anyway, that looks like where they're damaging it. Anyway,
Yeah,
moving on.
They try to give us a scientific explanation for what the Minion's doing, but it's like, no.
Yeah.
We saw what the Minion does.
Yeah.
Like, that shit doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
why are you spending this much time
Well,
explaining
right, on
something
this
that,
dumb scientist.
that doesn't even matter?
Well, they go as far as to give them all the motivation of this must be some sort of virus or disease.
Well,
And
they've
it's
also-
an outbreak. We have to stop it.
They've also spitballed their way into like this is basically a Manson-style family killing.
Right.
You know, there are no more Knights Templar in the
Yeah.
world. Duh, obviously.
End of the
And
millennium,
so,
the
like,
crazies are out.
Yeah, so it's like this is just he's just following the Knights Templar ways, the spike glove and everything.
Yeah, put it out in APB on Crazy Guy.
Yeah. Which
And Red Jacket
sarcastic
Lady.
cop is just like, oh yeah, sure, I'll put out an APB on
Yeah.
Killer Monk and the
Yeah.
archaeologist lady.
Yeah, tell him Knight Swordsman is out there. Grr.
Isn't that new movie?
It's S word. It's S word.
Sorry, I'm
TV
sorry.
show.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they eventually just drive, and then she just looks down. It's like, oh shit, gas. And then it's just like we're at a gas station.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of that was, but
when she floated the idea of like we just have to get rid of the key, and then so like somewhere humans can't, and she doesn't explain it. She doesn't at first doesn't explain it. She's just like, oh yeah, I see how annoying that is when you don't have all the information. Anyway, what I was going to say is I'm basically going to go home to where, my family, tribe, whatever, this reservation, they built a nuclear or just
Toxic
waste dump basically on their land, and everyone's very upset. But if we chuck it in there, nobody can get to it.
Exactly.
Without melting.
Yeah, that's probably what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where they're going.
Yeah, and they're at this gas station forever, and it gives the attendant long enough time to listen to so much talk radio to where eventually the APB is on the radio, but it's wrong. It says they're in a van.
Yep.
And he's just like, truck's a van, that's close enough. That's them. And just pulls a shotgun on them.
Yeah,
I don't
and they're arrested.
Yep.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
And they get taken to
arrested.
fucking nightclub, disco cop place.
Yeah. By the way, so they're because this is not obviously other than some establishing shots, this is clearly not shot in New York City.
No.
So this
Montreal.
This gives you an excuse to now they're outside of New York, which is looks like fucking Arizona.
Yeah.
It's no, there is no place anywhere close outside of New York that looks like this. But anyway, they describe it as they're stopping at a hick gas station.
Yep.
And this guy pulls a gun on him, and they take him to local I believe they say it's the Highway Patrol.
Yeah, it's like Nelson, New York, or something like that. It's just some bumblefuck town.
Right.
But the police force has 30 cops working for
It's
it.
a fucking disco in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mood lights and hookers everywhere. At first, I thought they were walking into a club, but then there's just a bunch of cops. I'm like, wait, what? And then they're all just choking Dolph Lundgren. Tell us what you know. And he's just like, "Grr," and throw him in the cell.
Yep.
Now let's go talk to the lady.
They tase him first.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
To get him to stop struggling. And then they go talk to the lady, and they've taken the key and put it in an in an evidence folder and just thrown it in a file cabinet. It's not even filed under anything. It's just there's space in here. Put it there.
Well, it's small town Melton or whatever in New York, so who gives a shit? They could just throw it in a locker or a file cabinet. It's not a big deal.
But we have watched as the Minion has changed hands yet again. The crime scene photographer comes up with a 1920s fucking camera. It is literally one of those disposable flashbulb cameras.
It's like Joe Pesci in The Public Eye. It's
I was about to say the exact same thing.
It's like, what? This is
he
the
literally
turn of the millennium.
he literally has a pocket full of flashbulbs.
Yeah.
And they're the one-time use ones.
They
and
have
he's
to
just
charge.
no, they don't charge. That's the point. The charge ones are
That's
because
right.
they became reusable
Right.
as a capacitor.
Yeah. That bulb's done.
Yeah. But anyway, he gets Minions off screen, or we see it's about to be happen.
Sure.
But yeah, so
Because he looks in the back of the ambulance to take you're not going to take a crime scene photo of the bodies in the back of the ambulance. That doesn't do anybody any good because the bodies have been moved. But he just pokes in there, is like, I'm going to take a picture of this, and then he gets Minion.
maybe it's just for the newsletter. Maybe he's just the
Sure.
MTA newsletter guy.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. But yes, he gets Minionized.
What's going on at work today?
So he's just sitting in a
Pam
car,
got dead.
sitting in a car waiting for the exposition radio to come on again, and just be like, "Yep, people believed to be related to the ritual killings are now in the Highway Patrol in Melton, New York, or wherever the fuck it was." And
He's like,
he's like, "Okay, I got it." And yeah, if you think a Terminator scene is coming up, a Terminator scene is coming up because they're in custody. Dolph wakes up, and
there's a man pooping.
there's a man shitting on the prison toilet for some reason.
Laughing.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Laughing while pooping.
He
Did we
loves
look it
to
up?
poop.
Is it the director?
I have no idea.
I think we should look it up because I really
Is he really
believe-
going to be credited Pooping Man?
The pooping man. Yes, here
I
he is,
believe
right here.
so.
The pooping man.
The Pooping Man.
I think
don't
you
know.
would get credited as that.
He didn't say anything.
Oh no, he's actually the cab driver. He was the guy. He was the friendly cab driver. I think.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was the director.
that child was the director?
This was his first feature film, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, not Pooping Man must have been the first AD or something.
All right, we need you in the scene.
Yeah.
This guy loves to poop.
What was that character's name?
I mean, he might have been
Frank Pooping Man?
he might have been a grip though. Just like, hey, dude,
He
let go of
did
that.
have a
He
grip
had
on
a
that
grip,
toilet.
yeah.
If he makes a good poop, he could become the best boy. Anyway,
Oh, look
I'll
at
stop
you.
now.
You're the best boy.
If he takes a lot of poops, he'll have a grip of poops.
We already did grips.
Yeah, I know.
That's the show you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Grip of poops.
Anyway,
Anyway, there's a man poop.
Yeah, but and she I like that because Dolph was resisting, he's immediately tased and thrown into a cell.
Right.
They're just like, hey, you lady, walk into my office and explain what's going on.
Yeah, now
which
you
is-
come tell
which
us what's
just
going on.
we don't
And
we
they're
don't
just- They're immediately like, get Psych out here.
yeah.
This bitch crazy.
Thankfully, for one time in this movie, they're not like, well, let's film this conversation so she can explain everything that's happened at this point. It cuts away, and the grizzled old chief guy is just like, yeah, get the fucking Psych unit in here. This bitch cray.
Yes.
But yes, so she's just like, no, wait, listen to me, and that's of course when the Minion like walks up and starts terminating the whole thing. Now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of issues with this because he walks in like he's basically the dude at Thor Ragnarok. He's got like dual like M16s or whatever, just walking in blasting everyone. Mm-hmm. The guy that is watching the like 2-man cell where Dolph is literally sleeping.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Like, if there's gunfire anywhere in a building, you're gonna hear it. Like,
Especially maybe if you're a cop.
yeah. But yeah,
You might want to just be trained to, I don't know, identify gunfire.
I'm just
In the sleepy town of Melton, New York.
Now, the EDM music was very loud.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So maybe he's used to sleeping through
Right.
that scene from Blade. Have we talked about the music at all until
no,
now?
not really.
Oh my god! It's either this like EDM, like crazy '90s Darude Sandstorm ass EDM, which I think happens twice in this movie, or it is just fucking wailing ass guitar.
Yeah.
Like no scale, no key, just fucking going after some notes. Just
Guitar wankery.
trying to do some.
Guitar Wankery was my favorite magazine in the 90s.
Yeah, I had a subscription. to
Yeah,
Guitar Wankery.
it had some tabulature.
It was all Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway,
Yeah. So yeah, he Terminators up the place, which of course gives them an excuse to escape, because she's like gone in the evidence room, like in the middle of the gunfire, just tearing through the evidence and finds the key.
Yeah.
Runs away long enough for this guy to basically go like, "I'm going to take that key from you," and then somehow
this
Dolph
guy
gets
gives
Dolph
a good like
Dolph
I'm
gets
a
out on
robot
his,
minion.
yeah, Dolph gets out on his own because he takes the sleeping cop and like cracks his head on the cell and then just takes the key and gets out. So he rescues her from another monologuing minion, and yeah, this guy again was just like
Monologuing minion.
just acting the fuck out of his one scene. But yeah, he gets head punched and deaded.
Yep.
So yeah,
Because then, like, the detective and the other archaeologists show up at this place, and they're like, "How did the guy in prison and a lady do all this?" And one guy's like, "They didn't do it, Chief."
Oh, also Professor Exposition, the archaeologist dude, is like he's smoking like these all red cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like everywhere, like in every crime scene in the archaeology site, and it's like, what kind of archaeologist smokes around a like 1,400-year-old dig site or whatever the fuck it is?
The establishing shot of this guy is him using the little brush on one of the things, and then he just blows on it like,
Right.
you fucking idiot.
Yeah. But like,
You use the brush so that it does. What is wrong?
I don't know what kind of cigarettes they are. I mean, like, Jatane has those like all yellow ones, but like I've never seen these like fancy ass all red ones like this. But yeah.
Yeah,
Chappelle.
they're
I'm sorry. That's Gitane for you, Chuck.
Get Tane?
Yeah.
Tawny Get Tane?
Gitane.
Okay.
But
I think they're Russian cigarettes.
okay.
Oh. Okay.
All right, but anyway, yeah. So he's just constantly smoking in crime scenes and places he probably shouldn't be.
Right.
But again, this is where he just becomes the I am all things science related.
Yeah.
Because he's basically, they're in the room, like one of the rooms where there's just a single dead body, and I think it's the guy.
It's the
guy.
Minion.
Yeah, it's the Minion guy. And he's like, oh, I think this is him. See the marks on the back of his head. Like we
Better check his brain.
we got to cut him open. And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, I'll get like a lab and everything. He's like, no time.
Just starts putting
too
gloves
public.
on.
Yeah, just reaches out for his magical murder bag and puts his gloves on, and
Yeah.
and apparently does a fucking autopsy like right there in the room, or maybe he doesn't because
No,
like,
he just
Yeah,
gets
turns
minioned.
out he
minioned.
gets minionized, but
Yeah.
he was ready to cut a dude.
He lifts the sheet and it's banana.
Yeah.
And it's all over.
Yep.
That's the reveal every time. Banana.
I mean, their eyes do turn yellow. So.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So yes, our knockoff Mark Shepard is now the Minion.
Yes. And is pretty much the minion of the rest
Yeah.
of the movie. They get home to her grandfather's house.
Not before Granddad. Well, Granddad got woken up because they were like not too
Oh, right,
far
yeah.
outside, and they stopped to make a phone call in a phone booth. And this is when like Dolph gives the whole like we have to be. Well, no, he actually gave the whole we have to be paranoid of everybody at the gas station
Right.
thing. But like she stops to make a phone call, which wakes up her grandpa from basically like a Mark Romanek dream, because like he's just fucking like having a Nine Inch Nails video in his head.
It's black and white. They keep showing this one dude guarding the jail door. We never see that dude ever.
Nope. Unless that was supposed to be like the original guard of it, but
maybe, I don't know.
Also, the guy was black, so I'm going to go with no. Just given the time frame,
but like Dolph has a bloody face and he screams. And
it's a lot of like music video bullshit where it's like the Jeremy video where it's just like there's a light above and they've got blood on their face and they're just looking up screaming at nothing and it's like okay whatever the fuck, and then he wakes up and he's like, oh hey granddaughter, I had a feeling you were going to be calling. I just had a vision, a dream, and she's like, yeah I know, I gotta come home. He's like, I know, come on.
Yep.
Yeah, they show up and he's just like, all right, I'm with this plan. Like you tell me it's the Wendigo, let's fucking do this.
Yeah,
I've been waiting to battle the Wendigo my whole fucking life.
Let's Wendy fucking go.
Yeah.
Then another guy comes in, and I guess he's related, but they never explicitly ever say who he is.
I think it's her brother.
Her brother.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's her brother.
Well, and he's just like, I printed some cards to get us into the place.
I think he maybe actually works there, but he made up some fake IDs for them too. And he's like, "Hey, if you're in hazmat suits, they can't see your wanted faces, so come on." Which they do a little swerve.
Which that just swerves the audience for no reason.
It does swerve the audience for half a second because he, this dude is like in line between two people that are in full hazmat suits, and they're getting, going through the security checkpoint, and eventually he's just like, all right, bye, and leaves them, to which the guard finally is like, hey, lift your mask, and they do it. It's somebody else just like, all right, I'm here for my shift.
Yeah, because the grandfather has driven through on a golf cart with 2 barrels in the back of it. He's like, this is a real big problem. I got it. And they're like, go, guy, just go, just get in there. And then, they drive and park right under a security camera and go tee-hee and open up the barrels, and Dolph and Lady get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then it gets, like, I mean, as if this movie wasn't kind of broken in its plotting and pacing and everything before, this is where it really breaks because basically, like, they I don't really understand why they need certain people to do certain things, but they're like outside the actual hazardous waste site. And for some reason, Granddad's like, well, let me go get my hazmat suit on. It's like, what the fuck do you need him for? To throw the key in the toxic waste?
Yeah,
like,
just one of you needs to go in
just
there.
walk in there and go plunk. Okay, done.
Yeah.
But they're waiting on him, and then he just goes off and gets murdered by the Minion dude.
Yeah, who has shown up.
Yeah, who just shows up somehow, and then...
He does get to talk shit to the Minion just a little bit.
Yeah, just for a second. But like,
and they swerve the audience again because you think, okay, he's going to transfer himself into Grandpa, and that's the next thing. But no, he keeps being the archaeologist dude, but puts the hazmat suit on and goes back to them.
Yeah.
But right before he left, Grandpa drew a W on his back, so they would go, hey, he's the Wendigo.
Yeah.
In his own blood.
In his own blood.
It's the big W.
Yeah. So he goes back in and is just in the full suit, but not saying anything, and they're like, okay, lead the way, here's the key.
Yeah.
Dolph, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, because the grandpa like given some speech about like, this, you need to learn trust or something, and it's like, okay, fine.
He's like, all right, fine.
So yeah, when he walks out, it's just like, good to go in the hazmat suit, and so Dolph hands him the key, and then as he's walking away, Karen's like, the W, it's the Wendigo symbol.
You mean W?
W.
The first letter in the word Wendigo?
It's the Wendigo's famous calling card.
I do like that. Like the
It's
assumption,
like Zorro.
the assumption here is whatever Native American tribe this is, their symbol for Wendigo just happens to line up with the first letter of the English word. Like
the Mohawks somehow discovered W before everyone else.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, they give like really dumb chase down the hall. Like Dolph's like, oh, okay, I'll go get him.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the Minion dude loses his mask, runs right into the toxic waste thing. Immediately, they're yelling at Dolph like, don't go there without your mask, you'll immediately melt.
Yeah.
And so like he's running down the hall and like snags another, like they have like just a rack of like backup helmet mask things. Grabs one of those, and then so like this entire next action scene with air quotes, Dolph's in full hazmat suit, and this other guy's got his mask off, which, from what we've learned, should be immediately melting his human host body.
Should be.
Based on the amount of toxic waste here.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Minion powers.
Yeah, Minion power, sure.
Yeah.
But yes, but we get to see this entire fight with not Dolph in a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Dancing around this, like, puddles of toxic waste.
It's great.
And then until eventually they're not. Like, I think he just... Doesn't he... Oh, no, the guy gets away. Like he
gets away because the cop, the detective guy, is also shown up, and he's like, hey, freeze.
Yep.
And shoots at them, and they're all like, what? And they run away.
Yeah.
And they're basically like, well,
Yep, he's going to hightail it to Jerusalem.
Minion's got the key, so we
Yeah.
got to fly to
But I just
Jerusalem.
want to know, he murders this detective.
Oh yeah,
that
he
we've been
does.
following around for half the fucking movie.
Right. Yeah, just murders him, and also you think, okay, he's going to minion into that guy.
Nope.
No, he still keeps
Nope.
being the archaeologist.
Yep.
Yeah, but they all fly to.
Yeah, apparently they called back and said, like, hey, Knights Templar better be on the ready, because, like, they just fucking sandbag up the place and, like, get out all the guns and everything. And it's like, wait, you're not going to fight with, like, swords and spiky things and dumb shit? Like,
And there's a guy who looks like Kurgan from the WWE who is just. He's just like, can't believe you sent Lucas. He's terrible. It should have been me. I'm the good one. And the old man who's in charge of him is just like, yeah, whatever, Lucas. Just go set up. And he's like, all right, fine. So he's in charge of the putting sandbags in places.
Bernard is that guy's name.
Oh, okay, fine.
Bernie.
Bernie.
Bernie Sandbags.
He's like discount Jonathan Price, too, so for some reason. But yeah. So, like, they're
That's Bernie Sandbags is what just broke Chuck.
yeah.
Of all the things,
Listen,
Chuck,
Chuck,
Bernie Sandbags gets you, huh?
I'm going to keep water out of places that shouldn't be water. And I'm going to keep bullets from hitting you when the minion comes through the door. I'm Bernie Sandbags. I need your vote.
Thank you, Bernie.
Yep.
Bernie Sandbags would have won.
We know. We know.
He just didn't give him a chance.
We know.
Yeah, so they're gearing up, and the one guy's like whining, like, I should have been the one to go. And
That's Bernie Sandbags.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
so yeah, no surprise, Minion shows up and murders the fuck out of all the Templars.
Instantly.
Yeah,
Just walks in with guns like, haha, I'm here, and your sandbags
Well,
are dumb.
That's the
Because you're
thing,
not
like,
hiding behind them.
when you've got like this is one of those movies where nobody knows how to aim,
No.
except for the bad guy.
And still,
And
they're just spraying
Karen,
bullets.
Karen is like murdered. Like Karen murders more people with guns than Dolph Lundgren does.
True.
Yes.
Yes, Karen does murder with guns.
Because I don't believe Dolph Lundgren murders anybody with a gun in this
No.
movie.
Nope.
But yeah, she straight up like. Actually, she's the one that saved Dolph Lundgren in the police station because she came up
Yes.
behind
Yes.
and shot the photographer dude.
Correct.
Yeah, and then like she later saves him again in the Templar.
Yes.
Whatever monastery, whatever the fuck it is.
The Templar Temple.
The temple.
I believe they called it a monastery for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah. And this is what they built over the door to hell or whatever it is. So
The bottomless pit.
Right.
The Satan pit.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah.
The demon hole.
That's
no.
something
Yeah, that's-
else. That's
Oh, I'm sorry. The
that's-
Antichrist
Yeah,
hole.
that's actually
Yeah.
D-Man Hole.
Yeah,
That's
the
totally
manhole
different,
is a
yeah.
club.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah, it's right next to the Blue Oyster Bar. Chuck's reference for all gay bars and
Fucking
ever.
love
Blue Oyster Bar.
Just everyone lying in wait. You just come in, they flip the lights on, and start dancing.
Haha, surprise. We got you.
Surprise dance. It's so good. It's the best joke ever. Anyway,
but
they
anyway, yes.
murder all the Templars.
Yeah, all the Templars are dead. They bust in. Like guy immediately goes to the door, but apparently it takes like 3 fucking hours for this door to open.
Oh, the thing's got to spin up.
I don't really understand because he puts the key in. You don't have to turn it; it just starts spinning on its own, and then fucking spikes come out of the door.
Yeah,
and
and flames, and then
he just steps back like, "Ha! I knew the spikes were coming," and then
Oh, the spikes are to, like, once you put the key in the door. Wait, why is there a key to the door anyway? Why would you put a key on the door to the Antichrist? Why wouldn't you just seal it?
because there's
like-
some dumbass gentleman's agreement on this bullshit. Like
That's stupid.
it's
No.
just like, okay,
Didn't
we're
they
gonna lock
say
you up.
Jesus gave him the key
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
He made the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
in this universe, Jesus is an idiot.
Well,
I mean, but
okay,
I would
but
guess.
here's what I want to
What
know.
would Jesus do?
I-
Jesus would make a key for no reason,
Yeah.
apparently.
Give a key to the door
Yes.
to the
Here,
Antichrist.
take
okay.
this somewhere. Now, so
I'm
who
not
came
letting
up?
that Jesus take my wheel.
I want to know who came up with the unlock process for this door. Was it the Jesus side who were like, okay, if you get the key, it's still going to take 30 minutes to spin up and open up this door? Or was it the devil
Hey,
who was like,
it
I want
sounds like
fucking
you
flourish
really-
and
It sounds like they got a gentleman's agreement where like, this
you really
got to
be sure you want to open that door.
look,
That's
look,
why they
like,
let it
the
spin
Jesus
for
folks
so
were like, "Look, we need hinges that take like 20 minutes between each hinge coming off, and the
Not
demons,
only that, the hinges cover the entire door. There's no way this door could logically open.
I assume it just falls.
Well, yeah.
Okay, well,
But
So it's got 6 hinges, right?
yeah, and then the demons are like, yeah, okay, hinges, we got that. Slow hinges, of course. Yeah, I mean it's like Stonehenge but slow. Okay, and
But
but I want fucking spikes.
and the statues, we're going to be able to control those.
yeah.
We're going to control the
Yeah,
statues.
we want
Yes.
spikes and
We want to talk shit to you while you wait for this door to open.
Right. While you either decide whether you're going to let whoever's out there, we want to talk shit to them. Either we want to say thank you for your service, or we want to scream at the poor little curly-haired girl who's just burnt her hands on the key trying to retrieve it. Spoiler
Yes,
alert.
because she immediately like, oh, what? I'm trying to think like, how does Dolph kind of get taken out of this like nearly? Immediately?
because Bernard gets minioned.
oh, that's right.
Bernie
Yeah,
gets minioned,
Yeah,
and then
Bernie
they have
actually
to,
kills the archaeologist
Yeah.
guy, and then like has to show Jonathan Pryce with bushy eyebrows that hey, I did it. Look,
Yeah.
I'm the best. And as he picks up his head, he's like, no, don't.
And
And
he gets
you
mad.
hear the roar sound.
Yeah,
and you
we
know
don't
it's
get to
a
see
success.
that one, right?
Nope.
Yeah. We do get to see him like start to move, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we don't get full minion.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Bernie
actually.
Sandbag shoots Dolph in the shoulder, which takes Dolph out briefly. to
They have
which-
a sword fight, and they fuck around.
This is where she saves him again because she's just like, oh, gun, I got
Yeah.
that, and shoots him for a hot minute.
right,
then-
and he just yells at her, "Go get the key."
right.
Yeah.
She
But
does.
that only slows the minion down because
It
then
does,
he gets up
yeah.
and he's like, all right.
yeah, but
time to
she's
murder.
she's downstairs at the Satan pit, like burning her hand on the key.
She's trying to get the key out, burning her hand, and then one of the two stone
She got a ticket
knights,
to Burning Hand.
one of the two stone knights that's guarding the door, CGs into her dead grandfather, who is just like, Karen,
You left me, Karen.
why did you leave me?
You left us.
I'm very bored, Karen. This is you.
They don't even have Wi-Fi here, Karen.
Everything.
What am
sucks,
I going
Karen.
to do?
Can't believe you've disappointed me yet again, Karen.
They told me I could get stoned in the afterlife. This is what I had in mind.
And then it just turns back into the statue. You're like, what the fuck was
Yeah.
that guilt trip?
It's
then-
just trying to get her away from the
Yeah.
door, I guess.
But then Dolph comes in, and they both try to turn the key.
The statue just said hi.
Yes, the statue just said hi.
The statue just said hi.
But then, like,
It,
as
it does
they're
it
doing
again
that,
as they're both, yeah.
it turns into the grandfather again.
Yeah.
And then it turns into the devil, which
It
is
just goes,
like,
all right, now
Yeah,
I'm the devil.
It
blah.
basically was like, this shit ain't working. I might as well just devil out and say hi.
I'm the devil, Karen.
Oh, except it's more like, I'm the devil, Karen. Like, it makes no sense.
the
It's
weirdest fucking accent. That accent has no nation.
Not, yeah.
No.
It was the beast of donation.
Well, Satan's not from any country.
I mean, it was just like a weird, out of place accent.
Sure.
Like,
It was.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, this is how the Satan sounds. And
Yes.
it's just like, hello. I'm the devil.
It's Michael Palin who showed up.
terribly sorry. Oh, Governor. I'm the
Yeah.
devil.
They yoink the key out of there.
Yeah, Dolph like goes and grabs some Templar rags and like yanks the key out.
It's like, let's try it this way. This won't burn as much.
Yeah, I mean, this was after he had an epic battle with Bernie
Yeah.
Sandbags out in the upstairs area.
Yeah, they sword fought.
The
and
sword fought, and
pointed
then he
sticks
got
and-
like pole arms, and then got those chopped in half.
ooh, he got pole arms. I want
Yes.
pole arms.
Yep.
But yeah, he pulls the key out, and then like everything just sort of shuts down. Like the hinges don't go back on. So
No.
it's like I think they were down to one hinge.
You're going to have to call in a repairman.
yeah, like I don't know who you call. Like like
I don't know.
Papa Lock doesn't work on like devil hinges. I don't think.
No, and all the Templars are dead.
Yeah.
So I guess
Well,
it's up
except he's like there's still one, and she's like, well, I'll help. And it's like, you mean repopulate the Templars?
Yeah, she's just basically like, I'll
I mean,
be one, and
Yeah,
he's like,
they don't really end with like a oh well, my job's done, let's fuck kind of moment, or anything like that. It's so like
No.
she's like, I'll be a Templar too. That's okay, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the camera just kind of
The
zooms
internet's
in
still
on
cool
the,
in like 1998, so
Yeah.
ladies being a Templar is probably
Sure.
okay.
That's probably all right. But yeah, the camera zooms in on the keyhole as there's lots of growling on the soundtrack, and then it just ends.
Yeah.
There's no bleh or
Yeah,
anything.
you think there's going to be like one more like minion eye
Sure.
pop open or something
like
oh,
Bernard grabbed Dolph at the last second and minioned him, even though that would make no fucking
it
sense.
would not, but
Yeah, they don't do any of that. It's
Nope.
just like they won,
Yep.
and now they have to repopulate the Templar species.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end. Movie's over. And we get some more dun music over the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we rate it.
sure.
Yep.
What does everyone think of the Minion?
2 bags.
Okay.
Not good.
2 Bernie Sandbags.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it. Okay.
No, it's just it's so forgettable. Dolph doesn't seem to be having any fun. The fight scenes are just poorly done. It doesn't really do anything well. I mean, the only thing that I got any enjoyment out of was just the people being basically normal actors until they get possessed by the Minion, and then they're like, "Ah!" Rah! You know, they're like just Nick Caging it up,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
They're trying to do Vampires Kiss Nick Cage all the time, but they're not Nick Cage, so it doesn't always work. But I can appreciate it at least. But it's still 2 bags. I cannot say go watch this.
Yeah. I don't disagree. 2 bags. It's just not good. I mean, there's not much. I don't like End of Days. I've tried to like End of Days over time, and that movie sucks. End of Days is bad, but I would much rather watch End of Days over this, even though they're kind of the same movie. But yeah, it's weird. It's Canada pretending to be New York, being filmed by French people, starring Dolph. It's
Swedish.
Yeah, it's just this weird mishmash of things, and none of it works. There's no anything to this. There's not one thing I can point to. Go, yeah, but that. I mean, nah, 2 bags.
Yeah, 2 seems fairly fair for this. I mean, because it's not excruciatingly offensive or anything. It's just like bad. Like it's just boring and poorly done.
It's long stretches of dull.
I mean, yeah, 2
Dull
bags.
Lundgren.
I mean, 2 bags seems fair. If it had more Bernie Sandbags, it would have 1 bag.
Yeah. I get it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about this. It's just bleh. Bleh.
Oh, it's bleh.
Oh. Interesting, because I was going to compare it a little bit to John Carpenter's Vampires. It has a lot of that. It's just a 90s-ass looking movie.
Yeah.
And a 90s-ass sounding movie. But it does not sound in any way as cool as John Carpenter's Vampires sounds, because John Carpenter's Vampires is all kick-ass slide guitar, which sets a really good tone, and this is all like
Guitar wankery.
yeah.
That is
There's
what you
one.
called it.
There's that one fucking dude in Guitar Center or Sam Ash or George's Music or whatever big music store you have in your town. Sponsor us, please.
There's no more George's Music. They're gone.
Oh, are they gone forever? Okay, well, Sam Ash.
Yeah, they got picked. They got bought by one of the other big ones. I don't remember. who it
Guitar
is.
Center,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Sponsor us anyway.
Remember Mars Music? Did you ever have those?
No, we didn't have
Yeah,
those up here.
That place was rad.
But yeah, this is kind of like awful and forgettable, except for when they give the people who are the minions a chance to like minion it up. I actually like those parts. As bad and goofy as they are, they're campy and interesting.
People are at least kind of coming alive for it instead of
Yeah.
just sleepwalking through all the other lines.
Yeah, Karen is forgettable as shit. Like, even Dolph is just kind of there for this. You know, he's not really... It's weird. Like, I don't know how... Like, I don't think Dolph has that much charisma, but the amount that he has is not here. We've seen some Dolph charisma before,
Well,
Yeah.
but it's just fucking...
If you think about it, our favorite Dolph movies
I will not.
are ones that like they put him against like a super excitable sidekick. Mm-hmm. You know,
Where he
I mean-
gets to be like...
Well,
"Oh,
he gets to
God,
be
what
the
is
straight
this?" Yeah.
man to someone else like just fucking like wilding out, you know, and like, I mean, those are like the ones we've always enjoyed. It's just like, you know, Dolph by himself with nobody like, you know, hype manning him or just making it more fun.
Yeah, he needs a Brian Ben.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the world needs more Brian Ben.
He needs a
Oh,
best friend,
does it?
Ben.
I said, "Oh, does it?" And he said,
Needs a best friend, Ben. Yeah, I think I will also go with 2 bags. Maybe 3. It's hard to... I liked the...
maybe three.
maybe 3. I don't know. Like, I liked the Minions being Minion-y. So
Oh,
that's gonna.
wow.
I would give it a 3 if it weren't for the minions.
That's
Okay.
fair. 2 bags.
It'd be nice if there was a supercut of all the interesting stuff in this movie. It would be 7 minutes long, and then it would immediately get taken down from YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
That averages out to 2 bags, everybody.
Oh,
okay.
good.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for
Yeah.
crunching the
I
numbers.
crunched the numbers there. Did number crunch.
I could hear the
Makes
smoke.
sense.
So,
Yeah. Let's take a break, shall we?
all right.
Sure.
Television. You son of a bitch. You motherfucking son of a bitch.
And I'm not lying when I said in the chat that I've been like waiting for a chance to use television for a long time.
Can't wait. I'm so thrilled that you got to.
It's one of those that popped into my head one day, and I'm like, television. That's gonna be a good joke.
Yeah, get it. It's funny because it's a big hat.
Yeah. Big hat. It's funny.
Oh man, I don't know why I have a mental block on equating TROS to the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
I keep
Twas.
I keep thinking people are asking about that movie. Twa.
You mean 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which I think
I was
made
explaining
by a
that for you
local
since
filmmaker.
we've established you know fuck all about French.
Didn't establish shit. You guys just decided. Fuck all y'all. You fucks.
I don't get what you got against French.
Yeah, I mean seriously, dude. Like they did some great things in history.
Yeah, like give up a bunch.
Oh,
shit! Oh, fuck you, France.
Wah,
We,
wah, wah.
we owe a debt of honor to General Lafayette,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we'd all still be speaking English if it wasn't for him.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, nailed it.
What?
Well, are we going right in the second half time?
Anyone need a break?
We can.
Yeah, I don't need to.
a few movies.
I have a couple of films as well.
I will talk about non-Golden Jocks movies.
I will talk. I will just tell 75% of the internet that they're wrong about a movie. I think mine's maybe the most recent. TROS.
Oh, Twa?
Twa, yes. No, have you seen a more recent movie?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Nah.
Nah. Absolutely not.
No.
Okay.
Huh?
Or what?
I can't wait for the comments on this live stream. Well, first half was pretty good, but what the fuck is with these fucking idiots?
Mm-hmm. Fucking idiots.
All right.
And then they even acknowledge how stupid they are. God.
Hey, how stupid they are.
Sylvester Stallone is commenting on our live stream.
Yes. Hey, dumbest podcast ever.
No, but I give you $1,000 to shut the fuck up. I take it.
All right, welcome back.
Hey! BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Second half time.
Yeah.
Yeah, second half.
Yeah.
This is the half where we talk about movies.
Please go ahead. It's been a while. We know you have some movies.
I'm going to let BJ go because he's seen a more recent movie than I have.
Hell
Swerve.
yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a movie in the theater.
What? Another one?
Yeah.
All right. That one.
Yeah. You know, being in a relationship is good for me because I go see movies. My girlfriend's like, "Hey, let's go see a movie," and I'm like, "Okay." She has a weird accent.
We go see movies.
Hey, let's go see movie.
Come on, cousin PJ. We go see movie.
She has a,
boyfriend. We go see movie.
Yeah, this is in West Virginia. It's like
We eat some soup. We're going to the movie.
she has a weird accent. That is not true. She speaks like a normal person. I'm just incapable.
You
Oh,
just
you're
don't-
saying people with accents aren't normal?
oh yeah, shit. Hold on, I hate to go back to first half because we never do this, but Dude, just the
Third base.
No, the casual fucking racism that Karen drops, and then it turns out to sort of not be racist because, like, hey, Swerve, she actually ends up being Native American. But there was a part in that fucking movie where she's like, "Yeah, they built this toxic waste facility out in the middle of nowhere."
Where there's no people.
Yeah, it's not gonna murder any people. There's just Native Americans there.
Yeah.
Or she says Indians, but it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, wait, what?
Hold the fuck on, Karen.
I mean, maybe she was making a statement of like, we're not people, like. But whatever.
Maybe she was repeating what they were told.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that was like, what the fuck, Karen?
Yeah, Jesus. Karen.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to go back.
Damn it. Karen.
Anyway, I apologize. You can have an accent and be normal, or
Okay.
you don't have to be normal. Whatever. She speaks. She doesn't skip a bunch of fucking words in her sentences like I accidentally did.
Cool.
But anyway, she's like, let's go see a movie.
Yeah.
A lot. And so I get to see movies. We saw Rise of Skywalker on Christmas Eve.
All right.
Um,
Troz.
That's a Star Wars movie.
It is a Star Wars.
It's a Star Wars story.
There is a star and a war. And,
What'd you think?
I actually really liked it. I quite enjoyed it. A bunch of people... I'm just going to say this. I've seen a bunch of people nitpicking the shit out of it, and also, like, completely somehow over and under analyzing parts of this movie at the same time, completely missing things that I thought were quite obvious, and like they were... I feel like people were watching, or a lot of the people who were hating on this movie were watching it with a specific intent to find something wrong with it so that they could be mad at it. And people are almost intentionally glossing over like parts of the movie that explained things to be angry at it. Is it perfect? No, far from it. Is it a pretty good Star Wars movie? Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the 3 best Star Wars movies we've had in the last 30 years.
All right.
The other 2 were the other sequels.
7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it.
It's
it
so
goes some places, man.
yeah. It's so weird now with Star Wars. Like after Last Jedi, what has happened to all that? Like because the spectrum is like so huge now, where it's like people are like, yeah, it's one of the best ones, and then there's other people who are like, it's more shit, and you're just like, and like I don't even know how to like. I've been trying to avoid everything I can. Hopefully, I can avoid it for 2 more days, and I can finally see it. But it's like it's just been really odd. Like Star Wars fandom has become really strange. It was weird before, like, you know, because there were like people are like, no, the prequels were actually the better ones. And it's like that's weird. That's really.
But you
no,
could brush
that's-
that off
people-
as
those
I
people.
think you
but
misspoke
those
wrong.
But those people weren't like, no, if you don't agree with me, you're a fucking idiot and you don't understand movies and you're a piece of shit.
But the
and it's kind of become that.
Yeah,
now.
but the discourse around that was, I like the prequels, and you could say, yeah, but it's because those were what you saw when you were a
Yes,
child.
exactly.
And they would go, yes, it was, and you would go, that's nice. And then that's the end of the conversation. It wasn't like, fuck you and your entire family, get off the internet. It was just like, okay, I understand. That's what you saw when you were a kid. Fine. They're terrible movies, but you are allowed to like what you like.
I don't think these like massive prequel defenders showed up until after
Till the Disney
The
era.
Force Awakens
yeah.
came out. I don't think I think that this is that's a direct response to the Disney era.
I think the
Which
most
is fine.
vocal people were the same people who were like, get George Lucas away from this. And now they are like, please give it back to George Lucas. I think they're the same
Well, I
people.
mean, it's just anybody who can watch Last Jedi and declare that the worst movie they've ever seen. Where I know people on Twitter who have said those exact words. And it's like, you need to watch more movies?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and also you need to understand, because a movie didn't do what you want, doesn't make it bad. Like, you
Right.
don't get to control what the movie does.
But that's where the fandom is now. It's
Yeah.
give me what I want. If you don't, you're the worst thing
That's-
ever, and you should be fired.
That's kind of what fandom is now.
It is, and it's gross.
It's just in general, that's what fandom
Yeah.
is, and it's incredibly toxic to. I mean, this goes into a longer discussion that
I
I
know.
don't necessarily
I know.
want to start, but I enjoy when a universe that I like continues to get things made about that universe, but we are sequel and prequeled out, man. We need we
Need a
need
break.
people to get we need to pump the brakes on prequels and sequels and same universe shit. We've had 25,000 years of Marvel movies. We've had 389 Star Warses. Except for The Mandalorian. Please keep making more and more and more and more Mandalorian, because it is... I'll just cover that right now. It is...
It's the best.
Harlow said it.
It's the best Star Wars.
It's
since
the
I was
best
a
Star
kid.
Wars since we were a kid.
Yeah.
Even though I like the
Yeah.
Disney era movies, this is
It's-
Mandalorian is fucking good.
It's weird because like Mandalorian is so good that it's like normally I would say like that's the movie level, and the other things feel like kind of shitty TV knockoffs comparatively. Like for quality's sake, I don't, and I'm not one of those people who's like I hate the the sequels or the new trilogy or whatever. I'm not like that, but it's like Mandalorian's quality is so high that it's like the movies now feel like the crowd pleasing can't make any hard choices TV fodder. And that's what's weird and backwards to me about it. Like that's what's strange. It's like they those are like completely market tested, safe bets. All the new trilogy.
Yeah,
is.
I get that.
I mean, that's part of the problem I feel like with this is like now it's you can't have this like we're gonna surprise you. It's like no, everything has to like everyone is too keenly aware of like pleasing the audience and also trying to do their own thing, and you can't have it both ways. You either like do your own thing or you just make a generic ass movie.
Yeah. I thought it was a great idea for Disney to nuke so much of the extended universe stuff so that they wouldn't be beholden to any of it, and then they kind of have fallen in line with fan service a bit. Not totally, but they're still kind of reactionary when it comes to the fandom.
Yeah. I guess my point in bringing all that up is that it's weird in that, I didn't see a Star Wars movie like the day it came out, and still haven't seen it week and a half later. But B, I don't even know what to expect now, because the range has been so broad of people like reacting to it. I honestly, I don't even know where to fall about it. But it also feels weird to not care as much, like to not have that burning need to see the next one, to know.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who I liked The Last Jedi. I think there's only a couple things in there that are really poorly done that I think are stupid looking, but I don't think what they are is stupid, unlike some people. But I don't know. It seems weird to not care nearly as much anymore.
I have two questions, and I think this will determine where you will fall in liking The Rise of Skywalker. Is it The Rise of Skywalker or Rise of the Skywalker?
The Rise of
The Rise of Skywalker.
Tross.
Okay. That's been skittering around my brain for a couple days. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you like The Force Awakens?
4.5.
Okay.
5. Like I enjoyed it. I have only revisited it once, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. I could do without the whole pirate section, but aside from that, it's pretty good.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much did you like The Last Jedi?
Same, 4.5.
You're gonna
Right
like
in there.
this. You're
Yeah.
gonna like
Yeah,
it.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine here. We're all fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are you?
It's not like the grand. It's not gonna be best movie of the year, but it's a good Star Wars movie, and I've gotten 3 good Star Wars movies in a row. I'm fucking elated, and I'm also glad that the Skywalker universe, as they've said, is being put in the vault.
Mostly.
Let's hope.
I mean, well, they're making the Obi-Wan series, so that's still tertiary enough. Like, I mean, they just need to, like, get the fuck away from any of these characters. Like, don't even, like, have them fucking cameo. I'm sorry. It's just, like, we're at that point.
Yeah, I want to see...
I mean, like, I know Chewbacca's, like, old, can still be around, that they live a very long time. I don't even want fucking Chewbacca. I love Chewbacca. But Chewbacca does not need to be showing up in any other fucking movies ever again.
The Obi-Wan thing is doable because there's such a long gap of
Sure.
what the fuck was Obi-Wan up
Yeah.
to.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just gonna be like, hey, here's a character you know.
The Adventures of Obi-Wan
I hope
Kenobi,
He, yeah,
not
I hope
the
he's off
Adventures
doing
of-
like,
yeah.
And that's where
random
the best
shit.
stuff has shown up too. Like people consistently say Rebels is actually like the best Star Wars thing.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Mandalorian is there, and that's in one of those gap areas, like the Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, it's not great, but there is a lot of really good Star Wars shit in there that's in that era where it's like they don't really cover that yet. So
Yep.
it's nice to be going back to that part of it.
Yeah, I mean the Rebels time period I think is a severely underutilized era in Star Wars because I feel like the fall of the Republic to the rise of the Empire is like probably the most fascinating time, and we've not had hardly anything that takes place in that except that, like, I guess somewhat. I mean, the Empire was pretty well established by the time Rogue One came out. It was like I'm talking about that gray area, like just post Order 66, and like all the fucking Jedi are dead, and everybody's like, "What the fuck do we do now?" Like that era, I think is like really fascinating, and thankfully we have Rebels and other things. Like we're gonna have an Obi-Wan series soon.
That's pretty much immediately pre or post sequels, right?
What's that? The Rebels or the fall?
No, what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm talking
that
about like
era.
post Episode 3, like between
Yeah.
Episode 3 and Episode 4. There's like there's supposed to be a long gap there, So
Yeah, and we kind of don't know where Star Wars is going from this point because did Ryan Johnson's thing go away?
I think that went
and
away,
I know
yeah.
the Benioff and Weiss thing went away too. So it's
They
like,
quit.
yeah,
good.
Yeah, from everything we've heard about how Game of Thrones was run, it was kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to overtax the guy because I mean, not everybody can do like wear many hats thing and still put out quality, but like based on Mandalorian, it's like maybe it's time to put Dave Filoni in charge of this shit, or at least Jon Favreau, like
Yeah.
whoever has the better
Yep.
side of this. I mean, I'm quoting Dave Filoni only because it's like he did Rebels and Clone Wars and this, and it's like, is he the brains behind making?
Who's writing Mandalorian? Was it?
I mean, they're the two created the co-creators basically.
Okay.
Like Dave Filoni was like you said, he did all the animated shit, and it's like it just seems like he gets Star Wars. So like maybe make him your
Yeah.
Kevin Feige.
It's weird that like Jon Favreau gets Star Wars.
I don't think that's weird
really
at all.
well.
I think
just,
Jon Favreau is a big fucking nerd. That's why he nailed Iron Man. That's why he's like
Yeah, it's
good
just
at this shit.
it's just one of those things that I don't know. It just surprises me out of him for some reason. Like I know he's a big nerd. I know he did. He's done a good job with all the Marvel stuff that he's been attached to. It just
Yeah, Iron
for
Man
some
too.
reason is
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
job.
yeah, I know.
Like it might be the least of the Irons Man, but
Yeah, but they definitely need an overarching person, and
Yes.
J.J. Abrams, is not that because there's a whole discussion that came up with Game of Thrones where there's directed plotting and there's reactionary plotting, and some shows are like, all right, here's our end point, here's how we write everything to get there, and at some point when they got past the George R.R. Martin stuff, they became reactionary where they'd write each week and be like, all right, here's what we did. Now, how are we going to get out of this? Which can yield amazing stuff. Breaking Bad was very, very much all right, we put him in this situation. He's fucked. How's he going to get out of it? And then they figure it out.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
feels like the J.J. Abrams Star Wars stuff, like between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, at least, it's like, did you and Ryan Johnson even talk to each other before
don't
you
think
did
they
some of
did.
this stuff? And it's like, you need somebody, you need a Kevin Feige that, that's why those Marvel movies work. That's why the DC ones didn't, because nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. And then, everything happened with Zack Snyder and he was gone. And, it's just like, you need somebody who can actually tie it together and go, no, here's our end point. This needs to happen. You can do what you want in that framework, but these things need to happen in order to get there.
I think the biggest part that matters about, or the biggest thing that matters about that person is they really have to give a fuck, because Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones, they didn't know a fucking thing about it. Like they were not. Like I'm not saying you have to be like a super fan.
You got to be the right level, because
But
there's
yeah,
some people that are just like, I'm going to cast all the wrestlers to play the Marvel characters, or then, somewhere between, like, I've never read a comic book in my life. It's like, well, you're not the right person to direct this, and you're not the right person to direct this.
Yeah.
We need somewhere in the middle.
You have to care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I don't understand how that, like, I guess, like, anyone, like, and J.J. Abrams is a little older than us, but it's like, how can someone from Gen X not be like, I have to fucking
give me
nail
this fucking
this.
movie. Yeah.
Like, I if I'm going to do Star Wars, I have to give this everything I can possibly give it.
I'm going to say, this is about to be a dunk, but I'm going to back it up and say, like, I generally speaking, I'm very high on J.J. Abrams' verse stuff. But you talking about the how do you get yourself out of a situation? To me, J.J. Abrams would be like, well, like, like Finn and Rey are in a situation that they can't possibly escape from, and cut to they're running away. You didn't actually see how they got out, and oh, look, they found a new character. It's like what that's how most people would comment about how J.J. Abrams writes stuff is like, yeah. I didn't really explain that. Also, by the way, here's somebody new. It's like, wait, what? Like, yeah, here's another mystery box, as people like to say. But yeah, because everyone loves to keep bringing up his TED Talk thing. But yeah. Anyway, but I'm saying,
mean,
like,
the mystery box can work, but you
Yeah.
have to know what's in the fucking box,
Right.
and I think a lot of times he doesn't,
right.
and that's the problem.
Yeah, you, the creator, have to at least know what's in the box. You don't have to tell the audience.
Yeah.
Or you can have people, it's the briefcase and Pulp Fiction thing. It's probably not that important, but you can let people debate about it for nigh on 30 years.
Yeah, yeah, but don't go later and figure out what's in the box later.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, they need a showrunner person for Star Wars. Like, because, and I mean, people will be like, well, that's Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think so. I think she's like a producer who's just like making sure shit gets out on time and goes by whatever code that Disney says things have to happen. I don't think it's like, I don't think she's like a day-to-day, like, Kevin Feige kind of person. Like, I fucking love Marvel, and I'm here to make sure you do this right. They need someone like that, and that should be a fucking dime a dozen with Star Wars. Jesus Christ! I mean, like you said, just literally any Gen Xer, like,
or call the the script master, that person that was in charge of everything Star
lore guy.
Yeah, the lore guy.
Yeah.
Call that guy.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
episode 93 of the Star Wars series was good.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed it.
I will know in hopefully it will show up in the Golden Jocks episode.
Yeah.
are you going to go get the 4D experience?
No.
We actually have one of those theaters in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is the fourth D?
Like the theme park bullshit. Like
Oh,
there's
shaky?
like there's
It's like D-Box?
Well, yeah. Well,
Will
no.
it-
I'm
will
talking
it-
about like there's
will
like
I
wind
smell the
and
lightsaber?
rain and like
Oh, yeah.
feet ticklers and shit like that.
Oh, I might
Feet
do that.
ticklers.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm gonna go there
Man.
just for the feet ticklers.
it's basically all the like like Honey I Shrunk the Audience or the Muppets thing. It's that kind of bullshit, but like with big commercial movies. Big commercial movies.
Chase me.
I don't know.
I could be
All
into that.
Yeah.
So, I've seen a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about all of it. I mean,
Well,
it's been,
talk about
what, a
some.
month and a half since I've been on the show. I haven't been able to talk about anything.
It feels like it.
Wait, you were on the show before? No.
Yeah. Turns out on at least American Airlines flights, movies are free, not edited, no commercials in the middle. They show a few commercials in the beginning, and then you can watch the whole movie all the way through
Wow. Yeah.
free. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And they had a lot of shit on there,
That's
too.
pretty good.
But a lot of new shit.
Okay.
The ones I'll talk about. Dark Phoenix.
yeah.
That's an X-Men movie.
Sure is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you guys still making generic-ass X-Men movies. Good on you.
Not anymore. But
Yeah. Good.
Sure.
It's time. Because, like, I mean, like, First Class is great. I liked Days of Future Past at the time. I don't know how... I think a lot of the future stuff probably doesn't hold up all that well, but the 70s stuff does. But they just need to, like... Again, when you're talking about people with a plan running movies...
Yeah.
And not just going like, it's time to make another X-Men movie. What story haven't we used yet? Well, we kind of used Phoenix in that other one that sucked by Brett Ratner, but now let's try that again. And yeah, we kind of got some of that better, but it still sucks. It's just, but it doesn't even suck. It's just generic as hell.
The movie's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And it just didn't even need the villains that it had. It's just it's one of those where it's like, why are you even bothering? Like it feels so much like we're just doing this so we can make, so we can keep the license and make some money. And that got pushed like a year, didn't it?
Not that long. It's not the New Mutants.
but,
New
which
Mutants
is
still hasn't
probably
come out.
probably never coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Although I heard
Again.
they were assembling a new trailer for something with that real soon. Like it's going to show in the playoffs or something. Playoffs.
I still want to see it like that. Granted, like I love New Mutants, the comic itself, and those characters, but I don't think you make a horror movie your first movie for a group like that. Like that doesn't work for me. Like I want a superhero horror movie. I just don't think it. Like that cast was that those characters are not where you start for something like that.
Now it's a one-off, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
so
I know.
It'll kind of be more interesting that way because you can't say, well, it's going to keep doing this.
I mean, there's so many other like comic stories that you could do a horror movie version of. Like
you could do a fucking Moon Knight one pretty damn well too.
Moon Knight, or like pick a random Batman Scarecrow story, where he gets like gassed and weird shit happens, or I mean,
or like really lean into the whole vampire thing with Blade. You know, like
sounds like that's what they're planning.
I hope so.
That and the next Doctor Strange movie are supposed to be like super hardcore. Yeah. I mean,
well, the name of the Doctor Strange one is goofy as fuck.
Yeah,
so.
it's Mr. Magoo's Wonder Emporium or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway,
Multiverse of Madness.
Anyway, I guess I'm glad the X-Men movie series is dead at this point because and Dark Phoenix is also the one that's the big one. That's the one you don't fuck up, and they fucked it up twice. Like it's it's really annoying. Like you have to lay the groundwork for those things to make them work properly, and that's the problem with all those movies is they've been so episodic where it's just like, all right, what do we want to do this time? And that's
they're basically like let's write the backstory of Logan over and over again.
Yeah,
and like their notes are like Logan backstory check out. Yeah, we got it. Okay, start shooting. Like fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also saw finally Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
hooray!
That's the one with Mothra and
I haven't
King
seen it,
Ghidorah.
but hooray!
And
it is.
Yeah, they made another one of those movies. Didn't they?
Did. They put monsters in it this
Yeah,
time.
you get to see them fight.
Yeah.
You get to see them before the last 10 minutes of the movie doing shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, too many humans. And that movie, that's just one where it's like, logistically, like, where the fuck is everybody at any given, like,
It's a World War Z kind of.
yeah, like
how are you?
Wait, you guys are here now? Like,
Yeah.
what is? All right, I get it. You put yourself on. You made a floating base, like an aircraft base. But holy shit, guys!
Word.
Yeah, I mean, I like it more than the other one.
Yes.
Yeah, it gave more stuff, but it also feels like they kind of like. Where do they go from that point?
King Kong.
Yeah, I mean that obviously that is where they're going, but it's just kind of like they introduced a whole bunch of monsters.
They did, and
Or,
they're all
kaiju.
still alive.
Yeah, some new ones apparently.
Uh-huh,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's like, all right, guys.
Big woolly
what-
mammoth for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fun enough, but it's just like, God, I cannot care about these people.
Oh no, you don't watch any Godzilla movie for the people, and that's what was wrong with the first remake. Was it was just like, I don't care about these. What are you doing?
And that just feels like a long ass movie to have so many people in it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and some of the motivations are like, yeah. Which at least other characters like, no, your motivation's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, it's all right. It's not great. Same one you guys apparently love, but Six Underground. That opening scene is fucking cool. However, Michael Bay does not understand geography in any fucking capacity whatsoever. Like, I'm just like, wait, how are we over here now? Wait, what? And
That's his trademark, man.
Yeah, what? Just confusing people?
Yeah.
And not understanding how humor works? I mean, even with Ryan Reynolds, like, not being able to make funny stuff with Ryan Reynolds is tough, but he pulls it off.
So Harlow and I, doing our research.
I know you guys fucking loved it.
Well, yeah, but doing our Michael Bay research of watching everything Michael Bay has ever done, we, for the most part, for the things we should watch, we discovered there are things that only Michael Bay thinks is funny.
Yeah.
Thing, and that's a running theme through all his movies. The Transformers movies are real bad at it. It's like, I don't know who's laughing at this. It has to only be Michael Bay. And Six Underground has a large midsection of it's just people are making references, and these are only things that are making Michael Bay laugh and no one else.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I'm going to make a Treasure of the Sierra Madre reference. It's like, to who? Like a second ago, you didn't know what a modern thing was or something. You had no frame of reference for a normal thing, but now you're quoting Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Mm-hmm.
That's Michael Bay logic. That's just a thing that happens. You just have
Yeah.
to
And
go.
and then they're like, they lose their driver, so they recruit a sniper.
Which they already had one.
Yeah, and then they got parkour guy because it's like, how old is the script? Like legit, how old is the script?
I don't know, but it felt like a 10-year-old script
Yeah,
that they barely polished up and put out there. Because I said on our podcast, it seemed like all the musical choices were of a 10-year ago era.
and they didn't even use the Sneaker Pimp song. What
I
the
know-
fuck?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Did you use it in our extra?
No, I forgot. I
What?
forgot.
Why didn't even use it on the
I
extra?
forgot it too.
What
Michael
the fuck,
Bayed it.
Chuck?
And I
did.
literally
I-
said, "Hey, we need to do a musical
You
swap
did.
on this one."
And it went right up my brain.
Oh, Chuck.
I know. I'm terrible.
How do you not?
I was editing 900 podcasts that day. Thank you very much.
Okay, I will say
You're
the super
welcome.
magnet stuff is really cool. Like that's one of those gimmicky, stupid things that could only be in a movie like this, but it works every fucking time they use it. But
Yeah.
it's still like that's one. I mean, it's like, hey, it's on Netflix, it's free, free-ish. But I just
You have Netflix.
yeah, like it steals someone's fucking password. I mean, come on, it's Netflix for Christ's sake.
Shit, they may be giving it away with your cell phone if you check into it.
Pretty sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, several companies do.
You probably get it
Yeah.
at the DMV when you renew your license.
Well, what Verizon gives you a year of Disney Plus, T-Mobile gives you something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're all giving away this shit.
Let me jump in there for a second.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Netflix movies, I got a plethora
Go for
of
it.
Netflix movies I can just plow through real quick. So I watched The Laundromat, which
Okay.
is the new Soderbergh movie
Oh,
about the financial papers that leaked and banking is fucked and everything is stupid.
That's the
and-
weird one with Gary Oldman and
Yes.
Antonio Banderas. Yeah.
Yes, it's very much The Big Short-ish. People talking to camera, explaining things, and graphs and cartoons show up on screen and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's very much that, with a huge cast and vignettes and all these things. It's another one of those. So if you're okay with another one of those, it's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. It just doesn't come together in the end like I think he hoped it would.
Yeah.
It seems like let's get them, let's get these financial fucks, but no one really polished up the story enough to where at the end it's not just all the characters basically locking arms and speechifying and saying fight the power or something. You know, that's basically what it feels like at the end. But getting there is fun. It's just you think it's all going to come together at the end like, oh, this and this and this and this, and it's just like, nope, we ran out of script. See you next time, everybody. So it's worth a watch. It's
yeah.
it's
I mean, that
goofy
seems like
and
so
well
much
acted.
Soderbergh in the past few years has just been like, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's never like he's in such a hurry to get through and get to the next thing.
It does feel
that
like
he
that.
never like owns it and polishes the shit out of it.
Right.
To
It feels
make
like
it what it needs to
It
be.
feels like me making one of my horror videos. It's like I just got to get this done.
Yeah.
I got to get this done because tomorrow I got to make another one. And that's what it feels like because he makes a movie every 6 weeks with his iPhone. And
Yeah.
So it's still fine. I just wish it would have been better, and it should have been better. I'll say that. Okay, so real quick, there are 3 science fiction movies on Netflix. Netflix is the king of slightly better than average science fiction movies. They just find a
Yep.
home at Netflix. I don't know how it happens. But so Harlow talked about IO 100 years ago. IO is better than average. It is pretty good. It's all of these things. A lot of the movies that pop up on Netflix, you're like, yeah, that wouldn't make a fucking $1 in a movie theater. I get it. I get why that didn't make it. But it's 100 times better than if it had been a Sci-Fi Channel premiere.
Yep.
So it's this weird middle ground of here's a pretty good idea. We're not going to really come up with an amazing ending or anything, but it's a clever premise, and you'll like some people in it, and you can watch it. So
you can watch it.
so IO is one of those, and then there's 2 that I watched that I had mentioned that they came out, but I didn't watch them at the time. So there's one called Rim of the World, which is basically Super 8 but directed by McG.
Okay.
If you can put that together in your head,
Or
it's
like Super Hate.
yeah.
it's a kid's
You're
adventure.
not selling me.
It's a kid's adventure. Aliens invasion. They were at camp. aliens attack the city, so they're left to their own devices, and they have to do a thing that will possibly save the planet. It's better than what you think it is, given the premise and who's directing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the world is, I wouldn't say fully turned around on McG, but like I think he's shown that like he can be clever, because like people really like that other movie he made for Netflix, The Babysitter.
Babysitter, yeah.
Like
I had people tweeting that at me
Yeah.
when I was talking about this. They were
Yeah,
like,
that-
"You gotta see The Babysitter." So, but this is another one of those. Where it's like, yeah, it's a little better than average. It's totally fine. It's got some jokes in it that actually work. It's got some jokes in it where you're just like, Jesus Christ, shut up, kid. That kind of stuff. So, and then there's another one called See You Yesterday, which is a Spike Lee produced New York movie. Some kids invent time travel, and then one of their brothers is killed by the police, and so they have to kind of ramp up their efforts so they can go back in time and stop that from happening.
Oh yeah.
And then it just becomes this, well, we fucked up that try, we got to do it again, but we can't go back to the same place because our selves from yesterday are there, so we got to find another place to go. And then they keep fucking up, and they just have to keep escalating this. We can't go here. It's like a big chessboard sci-fi bullshit time travel thing. Again, better than average, not amazing, but totally worth watching. So that's my Netflix corner.
all right,
Okay.
I'm going to duck in while we're on Netflix corner.
Okay.
One other thing.
I got one too.
This isn't quite fair because I don't think it's on Netflix in the United States. It's just everywhere else.
Okay.
I watched
It's one of those.
I watched Shaft, the
Right,
new
okay,
Shaft.
right.
Which when you watch it, Netflix logos all over the fucking place. Even if I think doesn't matter where you get it, it's still like Netflix everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
this is Netflix. So I think the main thing that you may not remember, and you may have researched it when you heard that they were making a new Shaft movie, and you went, it's by Tim Story,
Yes.
who made the Ride Along movies,
Uh-huh.
but also made the Fantastic Four movies.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing. It's if I said that and I said it's a Shaft movie and you're like, it's probably way later than we should be making a Shaft movie, especially a sequel to the, what was it? Was it fucking 90s or no? It was like right at 2000. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was in
exactly
2000.
Like, here's
Christian Bale was the bad guy.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like just the thought about like, waiting almost 20 years to make a fucking sequel to that, and then it's
How
a
long
Netflix
was
thing.
it between the first Shaft and the second Shaft?
6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you talking about the original
Oh,
ones?
sorry, yeah, the Shaft in Africa or whatever
Right.
it was.
It
I
was
think
like
that was
75.
75, 76
Somewhere
to
there.
Okay.
2000. So
Yeah.
24 years.
Okay.
I will say, if I explain that it's a almost 20 years after the fact sequel to that movie that's mostly been forgotten, directed by the guy that made the Fantastic Four movies and the ride-alongs, you'd be like, I don't know how excited I am. I will say it's probably better than you're expecting on that front. I still think it leans heavily into comedy. Like, I mean, it's just like overall, like it's like every situation.
Well, the
is-
previews definitely look like that.
yeah, it's like it's overly jokey far too often. But then like when it just kind of settles down and kind of becomes like tough guy cool stuff, it's like, all right, this is better, but it's still like you're gonna undersell it with jokey, because JJ Shaft Jr. or Shaft the Third, really, I guess, is he just can't stop being like bumbly, Like, it's just like they made him
He's
like
like Shaft Clouseau.
kind of, yeah. It's like, like he's the one that has to like shaft up by the end of the movie, because like everyone else is like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, but like Samuel Jackson's pretty great in it, and they do some quick de-aging on him for this movie, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Because like they flash back to like
They borrow some Marvel de-aging.
it looks
It's
like
everywhere now.
It looks like it. They may have just like said, hey, can we have a couple like frames from Captain Marvel, because that's what it feels like.
Okay.
Because like they flash back to like a point in 1989. Like when JJ Shaft the Third or Junior or whatever, they call him Junior, even though he's really the third. But
No, because Samuel Jackson is his original Shaft's nephew.
not anymore.
Alrighty.
Retcon.
Jesus Christ.
Retconned.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yes, like they just flash back to like when he's a baby. So they just do like an establishing thing of like why.
When Samuel Jackson's a baby?
Yes. When I literally said when
I
fucking,
know, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah. But yes, just to establish like why he hasn't been in Shaft's life and why he wouldn't be like full on Shafty, because he hasn't been around him. Like how he could grow up and like not have any of the swagger that he's supposed to have.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
It's all fine. It's It's fine.
You
It's
can watch it.
watchable. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. It's watchable.
It's the watchable Netflix.
I mean,
corner.
I'm saying, like, I had some fun with it. It just gets annoying when it's like, all right, dude, like, shaft the fuck up and, like, stop being bumbly at a certain point. You know?
Shut the fuck up.
Also, it's one last thing I'll say is, and it's very strange, like, this sentiment, especially, like, knowing who, like, I'm surprised some things in this, like, Samuel L. Jackson was okay with. Because if you know Samuel L. Jackson, like, the human, he says some things in this that's like, all right, because, like, there's some very wokeness in this movie with Shaft, you know, Samuel L. Jackson's version of Shaft. I will say, if you're expecting like a buddy cop or a buddy thing with like Richard Roundtree for most of the movie, don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've become fully aware that Richard Roundtree only shows up for like 2 or 3 days.
right
To do anything.
I'm just saying, like, don't expect
To
that, like,
eat?
the three of them are they're going to be running around the whole movie. But like, he's saying a lot of things of like, yeah, like, you know, ladies just want men to be men and not apologize and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, because like, you know, it's a character based on a character from way the fuck back, but also it feels kind of weird because he never like truly gets called on it either. Like, sort of, it just be like, no, what are you talking about? Like, you talk to ladies like ladies, they're people, you know. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of that, but then it's just like at the end of the day, it's sort of like he was kind of right. Like, Shaft Senior was right. You know, it's a weird sentiment like in this day and age. I guess I kind of get it, but it doesn't. It feels like you could do something more clever with that dynamic of like, yeah, okay, like I know we're basing this on a 1970s character, but like at the same time, like maybe time to wake up, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's fine. You can watch it.
I have one more Netflix thing.
All right.
Go for it.
I watched John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch.
Yeah, I hear people talk about that.
A lot of people on Twitter fucking love that thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't get it.
All
A
right.
lot of people on Twitter love John Mulaney.
I don't
The
get
internet, it's just fucking
it.
slobbering all over him.
It is one of those things that's like more clever than funny. And there's a point where it's just like, all right, I get it. I don't need a 5-minute song. That's the joke, you know? And there are multiple 5-minute songs that are the joke. It's like, all right, good job.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we shut it off. So I never even got to the Jake Gyllenhaal part that everyone apparently loves. Maybe that would have redeemed it and made it 5 stars.
Maybe.
But nah, I shut it off because I was like, you know, I only got so much time in my life.
Man, that would have counted
And
like
I'm not
as your
enjoying
third Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yep.
But
Didn't
you
make
turned it
it.
off before that, so
Yeah.
it doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, we've said this before. Like, I wish I saw what you people see, but I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't get why everyone loved this thing.
Like, is it super? I only became recently aware of it. I don't really know much about it.
It just came out.
Is it one of those things that's like did you watch the Bill Murray Christmas?
No,
or the
I was
Michael-
about to say my reaction felt like yours to Bill Murray was, where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, where you're like, what were you guys going for
Well,
here?
like the Bill Murray Christmas, I think is funny, and it's like some of it works, some of it doesn't, and like that whole formula of like it just feels like we just put this together in like 30 minutes before we started shooting, like
Yes.
kind of has a charm to it, but then it's like the Michael Bolton Valentine's one is like I was all in on that one. Like I feel like they perfected it. Like the Bill Murray thing was like a test run because that Michael Bolton one is fucking hilarious, like start to
well, the
finish.
Bill Murray one has that one song.
Well, yeah, the
Yeah.
George Clooney poking out from the tree.
Yeah, like it's
Santa
got
Claus
that.
wants
And
some
this one,
love.
there is one small sketch where he's playing chess with a kid and like talking existentially, which I was actually like, all right, this is pretty fucking good. But then it's over in like under a minute, and you're like, all right.
I just didn't know if it was like it was leaning into that super weird ass like that, or if it's just
It leans pretty hard into being weird.
okay. I'll probably watch it. How long is it? An hour?
I don't know.
30 minutes? Okay.
I shut it
I
off
think it's
after like
70
half an hour to
minutes is
45 minutes,
70.
somewhere in there.
7-0?
7-0.
Yeah, that
is
might
what
be
I
too much
believe
for
I
one of
saw.
those weird things.
Yeah.
Like I'm loving these like half hour like funky weird things they're doing, like the Bash Brothers and the Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
It's like do all of that. Yes.
I think this would have worked at half an hour if they had picked the songs that work. Because like there's
Is it all songs?
the majority of it, and
It's
then it's
like
like
a
kids sitting
variety.
around on Sesame Street sections
Yeah.
in between, but they're uncomfortable
Yeah.
because he's talking to kids about it, you know, that kind of thing. It's just,
Okay.
I just, it's one of those things. I like Tim and Eric. I don't get it. I don't get why you people fucking Eric Andre. I don't fucking get it, man. But you guys love it. You're gonna meme the shit out of it. That's fine.
Like the memes.
I still don't fucking get it, you know, and I don't. I don't know. I guess I'm just an old man. But,
Possibly.
yeah.
Welcome, brother.
I would like to, since it was mentioned, go on record as saying that I really love A Very Merry Christmas.
Okay.
I think it is fantastic.
Did you watch the Michael Bolton one? Have you seen that?
Not
one?
yet.
You
I didn't
should.
know it
Yeah.
existed.
Well,
so.
it's coming up on
Well,
Valentine's
because
Day. You
it's
can
on
save
Netflix, so of
You
course,
can,
why
you can
would
save it
know?
for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, so you'll never be able to find it.
Nope.
Ever.
I just feel like
That's wild. All the new shit tends to show up on mine.
Yeah. You will.
It's
easily
probably
be able
because
to
I use
find-
Netflix.
I literally searched an actor the other night on Netflix, scrolled down past movies he was not in to get to a movie he is in, he is the star of, and when you pull it up, it says 64% match.
Their
Like, the fuck?
their search is not always all that great.
No, it's
but,
fucking garbage.
Well, it's like they must have stolen IMDb's search because IMDb you can
Yeah.
type the exact name of the movie and it'll be like fourth in the list.
Are you sure you didn't mean the movie from 40 years earlier
You
with a
mean-
name that
No,
kinda
you mean
sounds
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, don't you?
right?
Nope, meant Robot Jocks.
But
Yeah.
I love A Very Merry Christmas.
On the record.
I got quick Christmas shots
oh, okay.
Okay.
Hit it.
because I
Uh-huh.
at the family for Christmas they leave the TV on.
Hell yeah, they do.
TV's
God,
like
fucking-
I wonder what our feelings on A Christmas Story would be if TBS hadn't shoved it down our Christmas throats.
I can't watch
for
it anymore.
decades.
I can't watch it anymore.
Decades.
I know.
Of just like Christmas Story, it's back on, and
I still maintain
that movie's always been like average. It's all right.
I saw it when I was a kid, and of course loved it. And
I feel like there's absolutely a place for it, but you've oversaturated to the point that like I don't think we
You
can
can't even judge it
Yeah, I was gonna
anymore.
say you can't have a rational thought about it because it's omnipresent. And
it's like Die Hard.
I will go on record that between that or the Goonies are the absolute most annoying movies to hear,
Yeah.
not watch.
Yeah.
Just like if you're in the other room and it's playing, it's like I've actually been at places where that was playing on the TV because it's like, oh, that's on TBS and we're just going to keep playing it. And I've actually walked into the room and be like, enough. If what the fuck is his little brother like squeals one
yeah.
more fucking time?
Yeah, that-
I swear to God, I'm going to come unglued. I'm going to burn this fucking Christmas tree down and everyone in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock the doors, weld them shut, set this motherfucker on fire.
Damn.
Yeah. The other one, I don't know why they're trying to make it a thing, but Four Christmases with
Vince
Vince
Vaughn and Reese
Vaughn
Witherspoon.
and Reese Witherspoon.
We like that movie.
They were showing the
Harlow and I
shit
did.
out of that too, and I was like, "What is going on?" And it's one of those movies like, it's weird. It's by the guy who made King of Kong. That was his follow up,
Yeah.
was to make this scripted thing with a bunch of famous actors. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who called in favors, but holy shit, there's a lot of people. You're like, wow, I know that person and that person and that person.
I don't think it's hard to get a cast for a Christmas movie.
Really?
I honestly don't, because if you think about it, that is a steady fucking revenue stream
Yeah.
every year when you need it.
Yeah.
Like when
it's-
fair.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
sign
hey.
up
their
for
agent
points,
probably did tell them. Yeah. So, but yeah, and this one, hey, whoever, I don't even remember what network. Not TBS, because we know what TBS is fucking showing. But whichever other one they left on,
Well,
they showed that like 2 or 3 times.
Here's the thing. The TBS and TNT, one used to run Elf and one used to run A Christmas Story all the time. And now they both run A Christmas Story at different intervals, but still in a 24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Four Christmases is it's the kind of comedies I don't like, where like everyone is aggressively shitty towards one another, like all the time for no reason, really. Like I mean, and it's like aggressively shitty in this movie. Everyone's like, "Nah, hey Vince Vaughn, fuck you, like fuck you forever."
Well,
And then like
to be fair, Vince Vaughn kind of deserves
I
it.
know, but then they go to Reese Witherspoon's family, and Reese Witherspoon's family is just like, "Hey, Reese Witherspoon, fuck you forever." And then Vince Vaughn's like, "Yeah, fuck her forever," and it's
I just remember them playing some ridiculous games with Jon Favreau.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like fucking X-rated password or something.
yeah. Jon Favreau is pretty good when they're playing Taboo. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I mean there is some good stuff in there, but it's just like God, like I had trouble handling it. I'm just like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like this is just.
I think after watching like Deck the Halls and Christmas with the Cranks, we got to Four Christmases and we're like, oh, thank God.
And there's actual jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
oh,
that's the
this.
difference.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
This is delightful because Christmas sucks. So,
And then, of course, I watch Gremlins
of course.
because it's fucking Christmas.
Did you watch it in 4K?
I watched it on my phone.
Oh, well. So no.
I can't put that on the TV with my
I
friggin'
understand.
nieces and
I knew
nephews. Like,
there's
they're
a
not
4K
ready.
transfer.
They're not
out
ready
there.
for that, and they're not ready for the Phoebe Cates scene, obviously.
Well,
so
sure,
yeah,
but no one
What,
warned
when
us.
she comes out of the pool?
not ready for that either.
Oh.
However, no.
I mean,
But,
that's
I
the
mean,
Phoebe Cates scene. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Her second most favorite
What,
famous
like
scene.
Dad's dead and chimney
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
Right.
Yeah,
I was 9 in the theater when that happened.
I was
know.
going to
like,
say, I saw Gremlins when I was like 5.
yeah.
yeah.
Fuck them kids.
Word.
It's
not,
not
your,
relatively-
not your nieces directly,
it's
just
not
kids
my
in general.
place.
Yeah.
It's not my place to make that decision.
As
So-
an uncle, it's your place to give no fucks and show it to them
No.
anyway.
Like, hey kids,
How old are they?
You're gonna love this.
One's 11, she'd be fine, but the other one is 6, and the other one's 8.
They
So
need to learn the ways.
So
of
the
the world.
8-year-old,
Yeah.
8-year-old's on the cusp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if the older one. I think she knows, but she wants the presents.
Oh, so she's playing along.
Wait,
Well, and she's-
11-year-olds playing the Santa game?
Yeah.
Look, I've never
Dude,
understood.
I was all in on that shit because I got
yeah.
free stuff.
I never understood why kids are like so keen to tell their parents, "There's no Santa." It's like, no, you shut the fuck up, kid, and
Yeah.
you get a bunch of shit.
Keep getting your presents.
Yeah.
I've never had that talk with my parents.
Neither did I.
Yeah. I was just like, just keep giving me shit.
Yeah.
Eventually, I got old. Like, I don't even remember what age, but it's just like.
I
no
think it
more
was when I
presents.
moved out.
I think it was once my sister was old enough.
Okay.
They were like, all right, here.
Look,
This is from us.
up until
I'm
like
not doing the special paper. I'm not writing with my left hand.
Yeah.
Here's a fucking present. I'm taking credit for it this year.
I made a potato stamp that says
Yeah.
Santa.
See, my mom, because look, we're cat's out of the bag. There's no Santa, but my mom was like, Santa gifts were unwrapped, which I think was her brilliant plan.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
they were just sitting
they were
out
just
there.
sitting
Yeah.
out there, like
Yeah.
you know, like they were the ones that got put out like after I went to bed.
Yes.
You know,
Oh yeah,
which-
there was
which
like a
I-
toy store display on the couch.
Which
where
I
you're just
seriously,
like,
when I
what
was
the
like
fuck?
6, I was like, that was like, oh, wake up, go outside and see what the Santa gifts are. And
Right.
I mean, seriously, I cannot even comprehend that.
Santa don't wrap
Yeah.
shit.
But either way, she's got younger brothers, so she has to play along
All right,
for their sake.
fine,
But anyway, Gremlins. Yeah. Movie's still great.
sure.
It's like almost exactly at the 45-minute mark in that movie where they're like, all right, here's where all the shit happens. And that just goes nuts. And I will still say that the cabinet gremlin should not have come first. They should have done the kitchen gremlin first. Even though it's a quick jump scare, you still get too good a view of the cabinet gremlin
yeah,
beforehand.
yep. The one eating the cookie is
Yeah.
the most amazing special effect.
Yeah.
Like still to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. And just like watching that scene again is just her scream, "Get out of my kitchen," as she's stabbing it to death.
Yeah. Yes.
You're like, God damn.
That scene is rad because she's just like, fuck all these things.
Yeah.
Go in the microwave and explode.
Yeah.
I'm spraying you with easy off.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't do Die Hard or anything this year.
I did
just-
literally no.
I did. I watched Love Actually because it's been a couple years, and I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Sure.
I was like, well, I'm not doing Die Hard, but like, which Shane Black movie shall I watch?
Yeah. I did see a bit of Die Hard when it was on TV, and my brother-in-law had it on. I was like, oh, yeah, they're opening the vault. Sweet.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
Yeah.
That's a very good
It's-
scene. But come on, guys.
it's time to retire Die Hard as this is a Christmas movie. We got to pick a different
Well,
one for
Well,
like
we're in the cycle now where
a few
people are
years.
like, fuck people who say that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we've hit that cycle, and next year it'll go to something else.
But there are so many other action movies that are also Christmas movies, like say Lethal Weapon,
Yep.
or I Come
I
in
Come
Peace.
in Peace is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
This
you can have
All
a
right.
good time watching action movies that take place at Christmas, and it doesn't have to be Die Hard.
this is your goal for next year, BMFcast fans. We need to make I Come in Peace as a Christmas movie a thing, and make it happen. Do it.
Dark Angel on top of the tree.
Yes.
yeah,
I watched Nightmare Before Christmas, which I still really enjoy. I only watch that like once every other year.
yeah.
Sometimes it's on Halloween, sometimes it's on Christmas. It just depends on
Or somewhere in between.
somewhere in between.
It's for all seasons.
Yes. For every season, turn to Nightmare Before Christmas.
On Disney Plus.
And I watched National Lampoon's Christmas. I watched it trying to think about, is it a good movie or is it just a series of funny scenes?
First half is just a series of funny scenes.
Yeah,
and then once it gets into Christmas night,
once
then
they
it's like
find a plot,
yeah,
Yeah.
then it suddenly is a movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
the real plot was the plot they found along the way.
That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
There's also the overarching plot of, Clark is just a crazy person trying to do the best he can to make a picture perfect Christmas for his family, but getting absolutely dog fucked at every step.
Yep.
Or not being competent enough to pull it off. That's the biggest plot of that movie to me. The rest of the Christmas bonus stuff is almost a subplot, even though it becomes the main plot. The overarching story is Clark keeps fucking up and needs to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
But God, right at the end when the whole bonus thing gets resolved, and then the one cop's like, "If I had a rubber hose, I would beat you." He's like, "Okay."
I wish I need to memorize the holy hell goddamn fucking eggnog speech. I just
Hallelujah, holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah, I need to memorize that fucking speech because it's so good. It's a good speech.
There's probably a Minion meme with that whole speech
probably.
next to it.
I actually have a couple other non-Christmas movies. Can I rapid fire them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I got a couple more non-Christmas.
Okay,
God.
okay, all right. So this was catch up, and these are things that are not going to come up in Golden Jocks, which was my rule for talking about them before a Golden Jocks episode.
Word.
Watch The Kid Who Would Be King. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
I don't think I was as high on that as I was really disappointed by that movie, and
Okay.
and I think my biggest problem with it was his not Bedivere. Is that who it was? Bettis. Yeah, he had the friend Bettis. I don't know if they were dubbing this in or if this kid just has an entire other register to his voice, but they were doing the annoying little brother meme, staple, whatever the fuck it is, thing a lot in that movie, and it was driving me up the fucking wall. And the weird thing is, it was mostly in long shots when they're just walking around doing anything.
Oh, right.
And he's just like, "But why are we doing the thing? You know what goes in the thing?" And it's just like, if you fucking talk like that one more time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna weld the doors.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't awful. I thought young / old Merlin. I say that because I understand the backwards aging thing. Backwards aging, I am. And and I just thought that kid was way too manic for that part.
Yeah, everyone was very Glee
Yeah,
casting,
Well,
British Glee.
Well, I liked the other kids except for when I even like Bettis when he wasn't doing like I said, I feel like it was an ADR we need an annoying little brother character
Maybe.
But it was just really strange. I was actually okay with the other kids, and the main kid is Andy Serkis's kid, which is weird. I guess we're gonna have a whole other generation of mocaps or something. I don't know.
Can't wait.
Anyway, but I was just kind of disappointed by that movie.
Yeah, it just stuck too closely to the Arthur legend, I think. It didn't I kept waiting for it to do its own thing, and it just seemed like at every turn it was like, and now it's this part of the story. I'm like, yeah, I know this.
I really I thought Rebecca Ferguson was having some fun doing the Morgana thing.
Yeah, but it took forever for her to get out of that fucking tree.
It did. Well,
I know, I'm just saying. She was just a shadow in a tree
She had
forever.
a lot of roots.
She did.
Yeah.
A lot of roots.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
It's just real quick, it's weird to me that guy waited this long.
Oh, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. He's written a lot of shit, but that's the second directing movie after Attack the Block.
It's usually right away you're like, oh man, you got to follow that up. And it's like,
Yeah, I don't get it.
Other quick ones. I think I don't know if you recently saw this or if this is coming up, but or if you talked about it a long time ago. I don't remember. But I watched Crawl.
Yeah,
I talked about Crawl.
I watched Crawl. I wasn't going to
recently.
talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Spoiler.
I will just say, I read both of you guys' comments or whatever on Letterboxd as I was writing something about it. I feel like you're both getting something slightly wrong. I know you were like, this place doesn't understand Florida. It's not a fucking basement. It's a crawl space. We do have those in Florida.
Not
this
like that.
This seems spacious
Not like that.
and the size of a fucking mall.
I mean, I was giving it because most of it was clearly a crawl space. I mean, every once in a while I was like, well, that's taller than a crawl space would be, and also why do you have this much shit in a crawl space?
Right.
It's just that's literally fucking
Especially
dirt.
you live in a flood zone next to a fucking
I
levee.
know.
Which,
I said, I was okay with it. I don't know what else we were saying was completely wrong about
I
Florida
wasn't.
per se.
Everything about it says we have no idea how Florida works. But that's fine. It's filmed in a water tank in Bulgaria. So obviously, you know, it's even down to like what neighborhood has a gas station 2 houses down from where you live. Like the zoning doesn't even make sense. This geography doesn't make sense. But again, it's filmed in a water tank in Bulgaria. So I'm surprised it's as good as it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I would just say like it came real close to at least like getting into honorable mentions, but I've got better things this year. Like I mean, I think it's a toy script, you know, like it does what it needs to do and does it really well, and like it's pretty spectacular despite Barry Pepper, even in spite of Barry Pepper, or just possibly because of Barry Pepper. Like he's doing some shit that
He's
like,
trying
he's
hard.
trying real hard. Like I started to throwing one extra line in my Letterboxd review. It was just like that movie was like literally like bottling all of my anxieties into one movie. It was like claustrophobia, giant murder lizards, the thought of drowning, fucking spiders at one point in time, and then I was like Barry Pepper acting. Barry Pepper acting. I was like, I almost threw that line in there, and I was just like, I'll keep it.
Do you want to reenact your face when the alligator showed up?
Oh my god, I had to send Chuck a selfie because I was watching this at work. Like it was like Christmas Eve or whatever.
It was Christmas Eve.
There was like nobody at the fucking office, so I was just like, oh yeah, I should just be watching movies. And like I subconsciously literally put both my hands to my face, like in the like clutching the pearls, like oh my god, like I was just sitting there like for like 30 minutes of the movie, like in sheer fucking terror on my desk, and all of a sudden I was like, I noticed what I was doing, and I just had to check a selfie. I was like, this was me watching Crawl since the alligator showed up, and I realized that wasn't a joke. I literally was doing that subconsciously.
Yeah.
But anyway, last thing.
I also don't know why I love the title credits on that movie so much.
You mean the
like when she's
credit-
diving into the pool
Yeah.
and they put it in there, like
Oh,
it's so good.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the end credits. I was like, it's like-
And then the song for the end credits is. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
Love it.
I do appreciate everyone knew what that movie was going into it.
Oh yeah.
And the movie doesn't waste your time. It's just like, here's an alligator.
Yeah.
Like full on, like, here it is. Like you don't have to wonder
Yeah,
about
that
what it
movie
is.
got going a lot quicker than I thought it was
Yeah,
going to get going.
same with me. Like when that alligator was like, hi, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh shit, we're doing this now. All right, well,
Yeah. So
What was that alligator like?
hi.
It kind of does,
Yeah.
actually.
all right. So I'll stop talking about this because
Yeah.
it's probably going to come up again. So
Yeah.
I'll leave it for then. Last one, and like this sounds really strange, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but when you're making your best of the year list, for me, don't skip this one because I really just wrote this off of like who the fuck wanted that? Zombieland Double Tap.
Oh, well, I didn't want it, so I haven't seen it yet. So now I'm
Okay.
intrigued.
Man, except for like a thing that happens over the closing credits, which is completely optional. You could shut it off, and I'm recommending that you do.
Okay.
Because I just feel like it starts to taint the rest of the movie in a weird sort of way with like extra jokes that aren't funny. But like somehow I didn't dislike Zombieland the first, but like this one really hit me right at the right time. Like the humor in this one really works so much better for me than the first one. Like I feel like I think it's mostly because like the first movie, I made it known I don't have any ill will towards him, but I prefer movies that don't have Jesse Eisenberg in them. Like I just like
Dear
he's-
Hollywood.
Yeah.
he's just a little too much, most of the time. And I feel like because this one removes the like, look, you know what the fuck's going on. We don't have to like spend 20-30 minutes setting up the rules and this and the pre-Zombieland thing. That's 100% him. This is just like we're on the fucking road, or we're camping out here, we're doing our thing, go. And so like everyone is given more equal time. That whereas the first one was like, oh, it's the Jesse Eisenberg show, and now it added Woody Harrelson, and it's like this one just like drops you in and like gives everyone equal time, so it's not his show anymore. He's just kind of there. And I think the greatest addition to this is I'm probably about to completely butcher her name, but Zoe Deutsch. I don't. It's Leah Thompson's kid. I don't know. That's who she is. But she's fucking great in this movie. Like she inherited her mom's fantastic comedic timing.
Okay.
Like she just plays this like blonde, like how the fuck did you survive the zombie apocalypse until now part.
Is she the one who lives in the freezer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just like her comedic timing in this movie is fucking great.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just really liked this movie.
I honestly was like that. I'd put that on a list of I'm not going to
Yeah,
watch that
maybe,
before the
yeah.
thing, but I don't know. I like the first movie, but it's one of those movies that I feel like over time I feel like I didn't like it. I don't know if that's just pop culture getting in the way or whatever. And then when this trailer came out, I was like, oh yeah, that's the movie I don't like. It's all the little bits of the things I don't like, and it's just like, I don't know why I feel this way.
Yeah, I can't explain why this one just hit me at the right time. Like, I feel like I liked it infinitely better than I liked the first one. But
Okay.
like I said,
Well,
Zoe Deutsch or whatever her name is,
Well,
inclusion. She got some of the funniest fucking lines in the movie.
Okay. Well, I will make
Yeah.
a point now.
Well, the first one is just one of those I remember enjoying it in the theater, and I have the Blu-ray somewhere, and it's just like I've never felt the need to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm suggesting like don't sleep on this one because I thought it was pretty solid.
Okay. Let me hit 2 real quick.
Okay.
I went back and rewatched It Chapter 1 to prepare for obviously the next movie I'm going to talk about. But I liked It Chapter 1 even more than I liked it the first time. And that's just an amazing, well-crafted Stephen King movie. I like it. And I love the book. So it's still, as crammed as that first movie is, it's still missing so much. But it, as just a movie story, I think it works. So then I followed that up with It Chapter 2. And for everything that I love about It Chapter 1, Chapter 2 sucks. I've never seen such a drop in quality from the same writer, the same director, most of the same cast, and then a amazingly well-cast version of all those kids. I don't know. I've had a hard time.
I've been trying to figure out how that happened because you're not alone in feeling like
no, when
this one is not good.
Before I started watching it, when I was logging the first one on Letterboxd, I just jumped over to Chapter 2 to see what other people had given it, and there were a lot of like 1 stars, and I was like, the fuck? How did this happen? That sounds crazy. This movie made $1 billion. I know now, having seen it. And the only way, I'm still kind of talking through it and processing it, but the thing I like about the first film, I don't think the first film is scary. Like, the nothing in it is scary to me. But I feel those kids are scared, absolutely 100%. And that's why it works. So whenever the scares happen to those kids, as an adult, I'm looking at it going, that's kind of goofy, but I know that kid is scared, and this is cool. This is just cool. I'm along for the ride. The second one is a bunch of adults who can get up and leave any of these situations where something dumb is happening to them. And they just choose to not leave. And I'm not talking about, like, leave the city or leave their pact or leave this thing they've decided they all need to come back and do. There's a scene in a Chinese restaurant where all the fortune cookies come to life and just turn into weird eyeball monsters and other various dumb slugs and shit. And they just lose their goddamn minds and start beating the table with chairs and everything. Walk outside. Just walk outside.
No, it walks inside. That's how they make the food.
Okay, well, that makes sense. But you do that scene in the first movie, and the thing is that the kids all see it, but the adults don't. So the kids can't possibly leave because their parents are going to think they're crazy or whatever. Kids have a very limited sense of what the world will allow them to do. So they kind of have to just suffer this weird shared psychosis they think they're having and seeing this stuff. Adults are fucking adults. Get up and leave. And so when these dumb, goofy Pennywise things start happening to these adults, you just want to go, if that thing came at me, I would just go boink and, poke it in the eye or something. None of this is menacing. You're adults. And so it just doesn't work. And then, man, I had forgotten all the goofy-ass shit that book does in its second half. Like, my God. I didn't need explanation for Pennywise. I absolutely didn't. And then I was reminded of what the explanation is with this movie, and it was just like, oh, wow, that's fucking stupid. That is fucking stupid.
Scary when you're reading it,
just
though.
blocked it out of my brain and was just like, it's a scary clown. It's a demon. That's neat. And then the second movie's like, no, it's this. And you're like, oh, God, that doesn't work at all. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. You should have changed it. And on top of it, the entire film, one of the characters is a Stephen King stand-in, obviously, because there's a writer in every fucking story he tells. And the entire movie, they chastise him for not being able to end things well. And I'm like, well, that's the most appropriate running commentary I've ever seen in a film. The whole film is just telling Stephen King he can't end anything, and it all fucking sucks. So, what a crushing disappointment that movie is. Coming right out of the first one, too, where I liked it even more than the first go-around. And the second one just being like, wow, They do a bunch of weird de-aging on the kids in that too, and it's weird as shit.
Wait, the de-aging of so the young kids are back in this one
Yes,
too? Oh, okay.
a lot.
Oh, I just figured it was like, hey, like
Nope.
20, 30 years later or
Nope.
whatever.
The adults all have to have flashbacks to none of the things that happened in the first movie.
Oh.
All new flashbacks.
Okay.
So they brought all the kids back in, and they had to
So
de-age
they didn't just
them.
film them at that time?
You'd
No.
think they would have, but
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're calling your movie It Chapter 1.
Well, that's
Maybe
the thing.
go
They
ahead
didn't. They didn't until towards the end of its run when it had
Really?
made so much
Oh,
money.
I thought it was just like out the gate. It was It Chapter 1.
At that time, man, who would have thought a Stephen King movie would have made any money? Because
guess,
The
yeah.
Dark Tower and hot garbage.
So this may be spoilery, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
All right.
Do they show that Bill was secretly working with Pennywise? Because in the first one, he seemed dedicated to getting his friends killed. Like, obsessed with getting his friends killed.
No,
Okay.
literally none of that.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah,
of the
because
sort.
by the end of that movie, I was like, fuck Bill forever. Fuck that kid.
Nope.
Stupid ass fucking kid.
Nope.
Good.
He's played by Professor Xavier.
Yeah, I know. So anyway,
Did we
Bummer.
come to the end of the movies? No, you still have a couple, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
saving them
All right.
for Golden Jocks.
Whew.
And I even watched some Best of the Decade Golden Jocks, but those will come up. I'm trying to get rankings, and it's tough. Like when you don't think about the decade until you're like at the end of it, and you're like, all right, here's my top 10, and you're like, okay, that's a good top 10, and then you go, oh wait, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oh shit, yeah, that needs to be higher up there, and then you like suddenly it's like, all right, now I've got 25 fucking movies to fit in a top 10.
My dilemma looking at a decade list has been, do I watch things that I haven't seen yet, or do I go back and watch things I gave 4.5 stars to just to see if I was nitpicking some bullshit and bump it up? Like, what is the more productive?
I don't think you should be chasing anything new. I mean, that's
Well,
crazy.
I'll say I didn't give Fury Road my number 1 that year, and neither did Harlow. And I think it was a recency bias thing with Ex Machina,
Oh, okay.
because like I had watched Ex Machina more recently, obviously, than
Was that my number 1 too?
yes. Yeah.
I mean,
I went back and listened to our episodes just to be like, okay, where was I on all these? And yeah, and I mean, a lot of it stayed, but some things have shifted around.
Okay.
But like, like Fury Road, I watched it again. I'm like, yeah, that's 5 stars. What the fuck was I doing the first time, giving it 4.5? Like, I'm a fucking idiot. It's a 5-star movie. It was the best movie that year. Like, the fuck's wrong with me?
Uh-huh.
So there are cases like that, but I think in general you're gonna know. Like, if you look back at a list, you're just gonna know. Like, if you're saying, "Oh, I give that a 4.5," but I was nitpicking, no, you're gonna have enough movies. Trust me.
See, I feel that way, but the thing is that on almost every case of Marvel movies where I've come off like, okay, I watched the first Captain America again. Obviously, that's a 5-star movie. Now let's watch The Winter Soldier. I don't really like that much. That's kind of dumb Nazis bullshit. 3.5 stars. And then I'm like, 2 years later, I'm going to watch it again and be like, the fuck was I thinking? That movie's amazing.
Yeah, Winter Soldier's fucking awesome.
So I kind of worry about like that kind of thing where
yeah,
what was
like
wrong with
the
me
Marvel
that
ones,
day?
I'm not even like. I can only go on like what my impressions were at the time. That's the only way I can
guess.
objectively look at it. Because like you can look at the first Avengers and go, well, that's not as like that is not nearly as well put together as Endgame is. But it's like, but I still think I like that one better. It's tough to judge that sort of shit.
That's gonna.
There's not gonna be a ton of
fucking Marvel movies to talk about.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna lump some Marvel stuff together and be like, listen, here's the Marvel shit I liked. Here's where it ranks.
We should just give a Marvel category.
Maybe
Be like, hey, here's Marvel highlights.
yeah.
I mean, we could just like skip Marvel movies altogether and just like do one of those like greater than lists. Like here's the Marvel movies ranked.
There's currently 2 in my top 10,
Okay.
so I figure that's not terrible. One might get pushed out.
I mean, I'm prepared to like redo my Star Wars, prime number movie rankings. I mean, I guess it could be all Star Wars movies because it's only adding 2 more. But I mean, I could do that now. Like, I think I'd like to see Rise of Skywalker one more time before I did that because it's a busy ass movie.
2.5 hours, so better be. Anyway,
Better be.
But yeah.
Anyway, yeah, my recommendation, Chuck, is
Mhm.
if you really think there's something you're like, man, I missed out on that,
Well, I still
should
haven't
probably
seen
watch
Ex Machina.
you should watch Ex Machina.
That's what I figured.
I was gonna say, like, if it's
Ex
Too busy
Machina is-
watching Granddaddy fucking Daycare to watch Ex Machina.
Yeah, Ex Machina
Come
is.
on.
I'll
There-
put it this way: Fury Road's way ahead of it, but it's still on the list.
Okay.
It's in that top 25.
Okay.
Currently, and I don't see it falling out.
There are several BMFcast reasons to watch Granddaddy Daycare. Thank you very much.
no, there's not.
No.
Whatever.
There's not.
There is.
There's not.
James
Yeah.
Hong.
Nope.
But think of
Barry
it.
Bostwick.
Nope.
Think of it in terms of like
Danny
Upgrade
Trejo.
last year, where I was like, I have to watch Upgrade before I do Golden Jocks.
Yes.
Like that was my feeling. Like if there's something you're like, I don't think I've watched that yet. You should.
Yeah.
That's my feeling on it. And even if it doesn't make the list, if it's on one of our lists, it's probably a good movie that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so we're doing top 10 for decade, right? I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Probably should.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep it to 10. I mean,
Yeah.
and then just do like honorable mention. All
I was
that
gonna say,
shit.
we-
so
we-
I can bring up all those other ones
We-
that
we might as
didn't
well,
quite
if
make
you
the cut.
We don't need 15 honorable mentions for each
Yes,
one
we
of
do.
us, though.
It's
No.
a full decade. God
we
damn
don't,
it.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
I will kick you through the wall.
All right.
I just feel like we all
I'll
know
do
what's
it.
going on. I was going to tell the listeners just so they know.
Yeah.
The next 2 episodes, we're cheating a little and we're doing some best of lists, but we're going to do the Golden Jocks for 2019 and then followed up episode later with the best of the decade.
Yes.
Air quotes for decade. That's all I'll say. Argue amongst yourselves. We don't care anymore.
Of the 10.
The years that begin with 201.
Yes. 201X.
Saying it louder doesn't make it factual.
So
it's the 10 years that
we're
have
gonna go with
201X in them.
AD 201,
Uh-huh.
and then so we're doing 11 years?
There were no movies in 201 AD.
that you know of.
No.
That you know of.
No.
Have you looked?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, you haven't.
I have.
I'm gonna make a best of the like the double millennium. I'm gonna be the best of the ADs list. That's what I'm gonna make.
Best of the 80s? The 80s had some
A-
great
ADs.
movies.
I'm just from the beginning of time.
So anyway, we're gonna
Yeah.
do Golden Jocks 2019, and then we're gonna go do Golden Jocks Decade Edition.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
2010 to 2019.
We are going to go with the colloquially accepted version of Decade,
Yes.
because everybody else is doing their fucking
I
decade
know,
shit.
yeah.
It's been 10 years since we did ours.
Yes.
Yes,
So it's time.
we did it back then. We'll do it again.
Right.
It's the BMFcast way.
Yeah. We just decided to just give them their own episodes, let them breathe.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can spend our time homeworking it and not watching another movie beforehand.
Right.
Right.
So we can maximize our time.
Right.
So expect that. So
It's coming.
yeah. Do we want to do some quick contact information? I mean, I think if they made it here, they probably know.
Sure, they know how to contact us. By the way, thank you so much if you've made it this far, especially if you've made it this far in this episode, because you might have tuned out already. But thank you so much to everyone for another great year at the BMFcast. I include both the people at this table and the listeners out there in listener land. It is a pleasure every year. I'm glad we've made it through another one, and we got Mackie back for the final episode of the year.
Yay!
We're bringing Mackie back.
Yeah.
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 Don't call it a comeback, because he's...
Yeah,
no, you should call it a
won't be
comeback.
around.
You actually should call it a comeback.
Yeah.
I'll be around for next week's.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope so.
But
Nah. I made that huge list and then I didn't show up for the episode.
we
That'd
would
be my
murder you
life.
to death. BMF at BMFcast.com, or just go to the website BMFcast.com. And thanks to all of our patrons for making it a year in which we didn't have to lay out vast sums of cash for BMFcast expenses. Thank you so much. Patreon.com/BMFcast.
Indeed. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. See you at the Golden Jocks. I didn't have
Good night,
to
everyone.
say, and for Matt.
I know. It threw you off.
Yeah.
And
Messing you up being here.
All
I
right.
didn't realize I took that many episodes off. Jesus.
All right. Shutting down the stream now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, stream.